Inside Stone's Gambling Hall in Sacramento, California, you'll find Sammy's Restaurant and Bar. Recognized for its innovative, healthy global cuisine, Sammy's offers menu selections made with local, organic ingredients. Indulgent options like truffle fries, duck tacos, artisan wood-fired pizzas, fresh salads, and more, along with an eclectic selection of craft beers and classic handcrafted cocktails. Plus, with 40 big screen TVs, Sammy's is also the perfect place to catch your favorite game. Satisfy your craving anytime, 24/7, tableside or in the dining room at Sammy's Restaurant and Bar at Stone's Gambling Hall.
Good evening, and welcome to Stone's Live Poker, because we are totally ready to do this show. It is 10:25 tonight. Yes!
I am stoked. I looked at the schedule. I was like, okay.
That was my mistake. It'll never happen again. It's not a tournament. I don't Did you check? Yes.
Levels online, and it's grinders, and it's people that, I mean, now that we don't have grinders, but it gets on this whole other, like, methodical type level. And live poker plays so much different than it does online. At these stakes, the game can get completely crackerjacked.
And let's face it, I mean, if you're playing a 10-25 game, you're not new to poker. This isn't your first time. You're like, okay, I haven't seen it on TV, I'm gonna go play poker. Like, these guys are experienced players.
Or the well just runs deep and you just don't give
exactly.
Yeah,
Zero shits given.
Yeah, it's gonna be wonderful. We had the 1-2 game, the Monday, the superhero game.
Yes.
That was a mess.
It was a mess of awesomeness. We had like comic book characters. I mean, any time you have a poker game where you have the Riddler fighting Batman and Nick Fury, and you got Mario sitting down there, and you Black Widow. The sky's the limit.
Everyone was saying, is that Morpheus? Like, no, it's Nick Fury. I don't want to explain. It's not.
If I have to explain it, like, you know what, you don't even deserve to know.
But we're back to normal tonight, as normal as 10:25 in Stones can be, which is pretty off the chain. And without further ado, let's get down to the table.
Let's do it.
In seat 1, we have Daryl. May or may not be his first time on the stream. I can't tell by the shape of the back of his head. But there's Daryl in seat 1.
The mugshot of destiny there.
Yeah. We have Tay in seat 2. Checking his phone right now, undoubtedly watching the stream. Everyone's favorite mess of a human, former college quarterback, Harlan, in seat 3.
Everybody loves Harlan. You know why? Because Harlan does not care what his cards are.
No.
And that's what I love about Harlan.
Puts pressure on people. I mean, so challenge to Daryl and Tate and I having Harlan on their left. That's going to be a lot of work for them. We have Tom D in seat 4. We saw him on the last 10-25 game. I think we've seen him in a couple 5-5s, a couple 5-10s as well. We have a new player coming into seat 5 who hasn't sat down yet. Nathan P. Oh my God, Veronica's going to love this.
Veronica's Nate. Right
Nate's
there.
getting ready to sit down in seat 5. Nate is, talk about like pressure. Oh, Susie, I don't care what anyone says about you. I love you. In seat 6, Matt H. Also, Veronica will, say,
yeah, Matt Holtzclaw, a super regular.
Whatever,
There's no way. I mean, if you haven't seen him, then you've never seen our stream before, because he's on here a lot.
Like, Matt he's wearing his Kings hat tonight, but he's a huge Miami Dolphins fan. I'm surprised I haven't got any help from him yet, considering that I'm a Steelers fan, and the Dolphins, 2 weeks ago, completely crused us.
Yeah,
super surprised.
You're just waiting for the goading, right?
Yeah. Seat 7, we're also waiting to fill a spot. Seat 8, we have Jeremy there. Jeremy we've had on a couple of games here, including the last 10-25. Jeremy is one of those players who is going to make Matt's life hell tonight, because he's a complete rangeless monster, does not care, loves to cook up pressure, and make problems for everyone involved.
That is such a sweet compliment, a complete rangeless monster. Like, I would love to be called that in a poker table.
Like, what are you, I'm the net, no, I'm the rangeless monster.
Okay, thank you.
And then we got Jake in seat 9. Jake, and I believe it was in our last, the 5-10 game, I forget what he bought in it, but it's he was all way down to like $200-300.
That's right, yeah.
Swung all the way to like 5 pitches.
Right, he did. He crushed it. He had a huge comeback the last time we saw him on the
A
street.
couple of monster spots. And seat 7, as I mentioned, we have a new player coming in, Azan, Ozzy. He'll be in the game as well.
Yeah, and you've definitely seen Azan before, all over the stream for sure.
Tank X87, Deja Vu, Rick and Barstow, all the regs. The best. Loving the new graphics.
Yeah, the new graphics are great. You actually, so I think we started those. Have you seen? I think we started on Monday.
On 1-2 in the Monday. And it's
Yeah,
super
those are rad. I love them. I love the action tracker too, especially you get a couple players on the pot, you can see exactly how it was like check, bet, called the bet, you know, all the way down.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet. Tank X87, he joined us on Monday as well. It was good times. Good times. We had a lot of the regs on Monday, and yeah, and apparently I sound a little bit like that Deadpool guy.
A little bit.
Weird. So let's get right into the action without further ado. There's a lot of aces out there, and that rangeless monster you speak of happens to have one of them. Trip aces for Jeremy here.
Ace 10, 2 hearts.
Jake fires out 75, a little, hey, let me take this pot bet, and I don't think that's going to work out real well with against Jeremy's 5 here.
So unless the graphics mistake us,
I think they do mistake us, actually. We're playing catch-up here with the graphics. Apparently Ace-5 is not in the hand.
unless we're like off one rotation and just actually Jake with Ace 5 here. Still playing catch up. 10 on the river, board is double paired. Jake checks over to Daryl.
Think they'll let the closer come in that? Chapman? Yeah.
Daryl bets 500.
Them guys talk back and forth, back and forth. Does he have an arm left? Does he never play?
Sam 1, we get a 1-3-5 to go PLO on a pretty regular basis. The game, like anything else here at Stones, I believe plays table stakes.
So here's a look at those stacks.
Yeah.
Check out those stacks. So Matt Holtzclaw here on the big dog, 4.6K. Guys, the buy-in is a minimum 2K buy-in. So even if, for instance,
No max.
Yeah, no max. Love it.
Unlimited.
I would love to see just some monster sit down. Like, what's the biggest stack here? I'll take double and triple that.
Right?
And you guys might hear a little bit of cheering and excitement in the background. We have a lot of people in here watching the World Series going on.
Game 7.
Game 7,
Go
super
Cubbies.
intense. Yeah. Yeah, they're going to be, if they take it all, they're going to be 1 year behind the Back to the Future prediction, but we'll allow it. They were supposed
that
to take
when
it.
it was?
2015 is when they were supposed to take it according to Back to the
Oh,
Future.
wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I should know that. So here we go, Tay, first to act, King 10 offsuit, under the gun, 75 to go, 3x open, under the gun, with King 10 off. Harlan right behind him calls with Jack 10 suited.
Which is a super snapper hand. So 7-6 deuce here, a couple of diamonds on the flop. No help to anybody, everybody's in Whiff City. Action over to Tay. Looks like, is it checked around possibly? Checked around. 10 peels off, and that's a great card for Tom and Harlan and Tay. So we're gonna see some action here, and it's a battle of the kickers.
Card hits everyone. Everyone hits their 10, and Matt picks up a nut spade draw.
With 2 overs. He's not going anywhere. So we're gonna see how this plays out.
Harlan,
So Tay fires 200, Harlan flat calls, so does Tom, and what does Matt do? Matt flat calls as well. So this pot's building pretty quick.
against multiple opponents, Matt's never raising there. Again, if one opponent might have led, he might have thought about raising, representing maybe he checked back a big hand on the flop.
9 ball in the river. It does complete a possible 4-card straight out there, so it's a little bit of a scary board right now. Pot's sitting about 1100.
I think this is gonna check through. It's a really bad card for any of these 10x type hands. If someone could have easily made a straight, made 2 pair on the river.
I think if it checks through to Matt, I think the farther it checks through, the more somebody's going to want to take a stab at it for sure. I think if it checks through to Matt, I think we might see a bet. Tay's wishing he wasn't in first position so he could bet this comfortably.
Harlan reaching for chips and is going to turn Jack 10 here. He's going to kind of merge his hand into a bluff.
So he bets 575,
575.
which the pot was at 1100. I mean, that's a solid,
Wow.
like, that's a value half-size pot bet, you know?
And Tom, with no hesitation, is cutting chips. The problem for him, he's got Matt behind him. And and Tay, who led the turn. Wow, Tom calls. That's a huge call from Tom. It's gonna save Tay some chips. You can now comfortably fold.
And
We
this,
never overcalled there with King 10.
and this is why I love me some 1025. I mean, we're 2 hands in, and average pot size 2300. Let's do it.
Props to Harlan there for having the stones to turn his hand into a bluff. There's no way that Harlan's betting for value there. Harlan's trying to get people off better tens.
No, absolutely. But I think he almost disguised the bet as like a bit of a value-y bet. You know what I mean? But I totally agree with you. He completely turned his hand into a bluff, and there was a huge call from Tom.
Yeah, it's much easier if your heads up with like 2 of the players in the pot on that board. It gets really weird really quick.
Statical Cars, what's going on? Thank you for subscribing for us. Always appreciate that. Sandwich, I know that call, right? Welcome.
Takes one. I don't know what he's doing. Oh, and he has steel to make this call. Yeah.
Take X87, soon the graphics will be so good we won't even need commentators. We can only wish.
That's it. That's it. Then we'll be home watching with you.
He's got the check. They missed the hand.
All right, so it looks like 3 players to the flop here. Queen, King, 10, couple of diamonds. Jeremy spikes up with his queen, and Daryl's got a gut shot straight draw here. Jeremy is going to bet. It looks like they check around to Jeremy, and he's going to fire out. And Daryl here tonight, who has volunteered to be one of our resident villains per se. So we can needle the hell out of seat 1, and if he gets out of line, we just might do that. But so far, he's folding when he needs to be folding, so all is good. All is good.
Got Game 7 of the World Series, 10-25.
Dude,
Good night for you, Barely Stones.
absolutely.
Peel me off $15, $25.
Love it. Come on down. Hop on the Stones app if you want to get on the list for any of these games, guys. You can do it right from the convenience of your phone. You can hop on the list and see how many people are in front of you, and it lets you know right there live. And you can cruise on down.
Would you have pumped it? No. Just let me believe it. Unless another dime ripped off, and then I would have got a little worried. Yeah, and then I would have
Matt, the graphics is that Matt limps in the 8s.
I think what we're missing, I think it's the person in between Matt and Tom there.
Okay.
Yeah, but the graphics skipped over him, so we're just kinking it out here.
Queen Jack 4, 2 diamonds.
Regardless, Harlan's looking alright with top pair here.
Jeremy, it's middle pair with an overcard. That's 125.
Okay, 1 second. I forgot.
It's much cooler out here being able to breathe with the mask on for 3 hours. You know, just saying. It's pretty nice.
They want to get in the wind.
Oh, and without the mad scientist trying to repeatedly stab me in the eye with a pen or a syringe or whatever the heck it was.
Are we heads up? Are we heads up? Yes, sir.
So an 8 peels off. Harlan's hand, actually, that only improves for him here. That's actually going to give him a straight draw as well. Jeremy's still with his jack.
Harlan now leads for 250. He's got one of the worst 10s you can have on this board. He goes and he bets anyway. Jeremy, he thinks Harlan might be like hunting for straighter diamonds. Diamonds get there. Might help Jeremy get away here.
It's also a board pair. There you can see our fancy new action tracker there on the left.
All right, then you win.
So I like this now. If you can see, take a look. It says plus 600 now to Harlan, so you can see that his stack size increases $600 now. Love them graphics.
Love it.
Love me them graphics. Because somebody's like, oh my god, it was a $5,000 pot. I was like, yeah, but like 3,000 of it was his money.
Yeah, they even bet the river. It's taking another few.
It's like Snapchatting a cash out for 5K. How much are you in for? 6.
My mom just told me for saying take
Probably
shots.
tells you because probably at the same store.
My mom taught her old school. Like from the day one. We're from Chicago. We used to go to Wrigley Field when there was no lights. Back in the 70s.
Nate under the gun's going to limp to King 9 suited, as does Jeremy with a 5 tray suited. Jake out of the hijack is going to open up the pot with the King 10 off.
We gotta go with the double header. What's going on?
Because you knew 6 hours at the ballpark.
3 kids running around.
Looks like Nate and Jeremy to both call here.
That would only cost like $4. No, I didn't care about that, but it's like, oh shit, I gotta watch the kids for 8 hours.
The ballpark.
And mom's going, yeah.
There's 2.
I got the shit to do around the
Like
house.
football and basketball.
3-way action.
Baseball game. It's 3 hours.
877, 2 spares, 2 spades.
2 spears, 1 spear, 2 spades. So we got a flush draw for Jeremy here, and the battle at King High is with Nathan and Jake.
And Jeremy's going to fire out into Jake,
300.
who at 75, and Jake is going to make it 300 to go.
Insta raise
He
here.
feels that Jeremy's never strong leading into the razor like this, and Jake can't like that. Jake doesn't know that how far out in front he really is here.
8 of clubs peels off. Definitely no help to Jeremy here. Jeremy solid looking for a spade. Jake just looking to hold right now. So pot's at just under $1 grand.
Don't try one. You might as well go ahead.
Alois Zilla, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. What's the drop in this game? I don't know, like $5-10, something like that.
Yeah,
Something like that. And another 8 peels off double board pair. Leaves Jeremy playing the board. Looks like he's in check fold mode.
this will chop if it checks through. Jake won't let that happen.
Not at all.
Talking about consoles. The kid at 45, he was 11 and 12.
Yeah, and the way that, and the funny thing about that is a lot of players see a double paired board with an ace as, okay, well, you're just trying to bet me off a chop. But the way the hand played out, the way that Jeremy basically fired right off the bat, raised him right off the bat,
Or maybe it was next time.
No, yeah.
you know, the way he played that hand, he clearly had more than the board, which, even though he didn't, he represented that and got him off.
Something almost exact like that.
Action fold to Daryl here. He's going to limp in the 10 deuce of clubs. Take him long 9-10 off. Harlan completes the button with the Jack 7.
Love it. Why not? King 9-3, couple of hearts out there. Nathan pairs his 9, as does Tay.
Checks a Tay. Tay bets at the pot. Makes it 75 to go.
678, what's going on, buddy? Welcome to the chat.
Yeah,
678, Jake, man, 2 keys in the pot.
Right?
you know,
That's my hero.
combined, bro.
I need a couple more than this.
At this point, he needs to play.
Tay's
9
gonna pick up this
cards.
monster $85 pot in the 1025 game.
Easy money. They all add up. They all add up.
That's it. Little babes. Little babies.
Yeah, I tuned in Monday night for the stream for the superhero game, and I saw that 678 was streaming as well. I tuned in and he was actually streaming some of the World Series action, which is good for me because I just don't like finding time to watch TV anymore. So like I lowered like my old subscription package
Yeah.
on like DirecTV or whatever. The
Oh,
hell
so
it is
you
that
were
I have.
hopping on his channel watching basically what you would normally be watching on cable?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Good.
3-year-old.
I love pirating signals. Fantastic.
I mean nothing.
What? No, that's awesome. Anywhere you can watch it, man. Anywhere you can stream it, we're a fan of. So wait, streaming poker, is that a thing? Whoa. So it looks like we got a raise here from Jake with the mystery hand of 75. A couple of callers. I did see somebody had a king. I think king 3. They got out of there. So
125.
King 4.
yeah, it looks like we got a bet. Was that 100 and a quarter or something like that? 125. Yeah. Bet at 125 here with Tay. No pair. And Jake D with the mystery hand is going to make the call. Oof, now that definitely improved Tay's hand, caught up. Ace is up now for Tay. And checks through. I got to think that Jake does not, I don't know, we're going to find out here.
585 in the pot. When that sizing, Jake
Oh, he does have the king. I like our dealer Cameron. Just kind of nudges his cards over the reader so we can see that he has King Jack right there in the end.
Easy game.
So guys, if you're just joining us or tuning in for the first time, the white chips you see there are $100 chips, the greens are 25s, and the reds are $5 chips. And if you see some blues, those are ones. Those are for buying that lovely salad that Harlan's munching on, or tipping your dealer. Is that Justin's doodles? JFK Stones doodling. Little doubles.
There's a little Satan over there, but it's fine.
It's fine. Just ignore it, it'll go away.
Unless Lester fumbles and he might be coming in.
If you like 1025 super fun live cash game action, make sure you click that heart button and subscribe to us. We're here every Monday and Wednesday. We got this game going a couple times a month. We also have the 5-10 game going, or 5-5. All those games play much higher stakes than they are. Super, super juicy, so definitely don't miss it. Sometimes we even have tables full of comic book heroes. Just, duking it out. That's what we do here.
So Daryl opens with the pot, makes it 105 to go, king 10 off. Tom's gonna flat 10s here. I don't mind a 3-bet there either. 6, 6, 3, and 10s are way out in front right
Way ahead. Not a bad pot, especially since he's got Daryl locked with a 10 as well.
now. It's a good check by Daryl. He's not repping much on that board.
Bet
He does have backdoor
125.
diamonds.
Bet 125 by Tom. And Daryl's gone. Damn, I was hoping he'd just super spew off so we could be like, Needle Daryl. Just kidding.
Oh, that's as good as it was.
Kid. So taking a look at chip stacks there, pretty healthy game. What's that? Looks like 20, almost 25K in play, 23K, something like that. Not a bad game. Not a small game at all.
Oh, I was just saying, like, you need to be on.
Like, yeah, I'll hop in this. I'm gonna need a small loan, if you don't mind. Like, I don't know, you a couple of months mortgage. I can just borrow that real quick.
Send it.
See what happens. Oh, there we go. New shooter Azan coming in.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Good old Azan, the fearless wonder.
Action full, so Matt makes it 125 to go off the button.
Can I just say my favorite shirt on the table is clearly Matt's Ghostbusters shirt. Just want to throw that out there.
Right?
I mean, you win.
Chip table 11.
And I know it's the original Ghostbusters too, that's why it gets extra points. 239 on the flop, Super Rainbow. Sean McCormick, what's going on, buddy? Welcome, thanks for joining us. So I think our pre-flop action is just catching up here. And Matt's gonna get out of there.
Was there a lead? Sorry, I missed something.
I think there was a lead. I mean, these guys are pretty good. Yeah, there you go. There's the lead from C1.
All right, there.
Yeah.
Jeremy led 150.
You like the 9? Who are you playing?
Daryl did.
You like
Daryl.
both?
C1, yeah.
I mean, that's what
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like when our graphics are catching up, I'm like, these guys are pretty good. I don't think they're just folding when it's a check at this level. Maybe, but I don't think so.
Taking a deuce time out of position.
Flat caller, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the game.
Oh my God!
Ghostbusters. I actually recently was out in Chicago and got a chance to meet and hang out with Ernie
Guy
Hudson.
scored from Staten.
Yeah, Mr. One of the Ghostbusters himself. Super cool guy. Just like, I love it when you meet celebrities and they're just kind of like, they're sitting down there, like just chill, hanging out, like, yeah, let's have a beer and like talk for a minute.
Correct.
Tell me some random stories,
You don't
yeah.
see guys score
It's like
from
when you crash
second.
in here on a Thursday night and you've had way too many beers and you're in the long weekend.
Yeah, you're like, dude, Lon, what's up, man?
Yeah.
Lon's like, I'm done talking to you. I gotta go walk my dog in the parking lot.
Right.
That's not even a metaphor.
Sorry, I'm coming.
Yep, I gotta go. I got stuff to do.
How much was stacked?
So Azan makes it 100 to go out of the cutoff of the Ace Jack offsuit.
Look at that guy start from
Master
second.
C, welcome, buddy.
Beginning.
And it looks like this is going to get through. No one's got much to defend with.
Oh, got him.
Oh my God, that doesn't get any closer.
So it looks like fresh to the table, Zon's got 3,600. Solid little buy-in here. Right in the middle of all the stacks. Just enough to cause some problems.
So far, it looks like no one is getting like way out of line, opening a ton of hands.
Not a fan of either team, but I'll tell you what.
Daryl, Jeremy, possibly Harlan, and Nate to really drive a lot of the action in this game. That said, as everyone right now is kind of laying low, I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of like really, you know, keen players like Matt or Azan take advantage of that and really just start like liberally opening pots and kind of like trying to like almost manufacture that image of like, hey, laggy aggression.
Yeah.
And you know, maybe try to get some other hands paid off later.
And Harlan's actually been pretty, you know, so far. Other than he turned the one hand into a bluff, right?
Yeah.
And high board. Other than that, he hasn't been super spewy. Hasn't been crazy, you know.
So Matt makes a 75 to go, queen 10 of clubs. Azan calls right behind him. Matt can't love that. Jeremy calls as well out of the cutoff with a 9-10 offsuit. Jake calls on the button with pocket fours. Tay comes along with the suited ace, and we got 5-way action to the flop. King 7-8, 2 clubs. Great flop for Matt. Queen high clubs, backdoor straight. Azan who would like a flat ace king versus Matt. Wow. Matt c-bets for 150. Azan on top. Pretty coordinated board against multiple opponents. He could probably raise here and get calls from worse hands.
You're down 4 runs.
I like the
There's
call.
no safe base run. Yeah. There's no hold up, slow down.
Jeremy's open-ended. He calls as well.
You could have the slowest dump truck player.
And Jake and Tay should have
like
easy
right.
folds.
Go.
3-way to the turn. Disco. Jeremy gets there.
Bingo, bango, Stone Cold Nutskis for Jeremy.
Matt's got to worry about that making someone 2-pair. He's going to check over to Azan.
So now that also gives Matt a little gut shot too, along with the straight draw. If a 9 peels off, he can actually tie Jeremy here as well. And then Azan's top is just like, it's rough. It's so far behind, like he's 0%. Like, ouch. How did that happen?
Azan leads for 250. Jeremy makes it look like 700 to go real quick.
Yeah,
raised at 900.
I mean, and that's a I'm not messing around type bet. And at this point, I mean, Azan's a solid player. Azan knows that he's not doing that with anything less than ace king, but he's gonna look at.
Wow, Azan makes a call. I'm a little bit surprised there.
Oh, that's a money-losing card for Azan. That's one of the I'm now forced to call you thing, because with the 6 peels off there, it could have easily been like a 6-7,
8-6.
Yeah, exactly. It could have been a 2-pair hand, and Azan just crushed all of those on the river. That river is gonna hurt Azan's bankroll. So let's see what Azan does here. Did he check? I don't know if he's checked yet. But we both saw the king and we're like, oh man.
And Matt folded clubs.
Yeah. So, oh wow. Yeah, that raise that Jeremy made with that huge raise that Jeremy made.
Wow, check.
That saved Azan a whole lot of money. And Azan actually right there, I think probably took a deep breath on the river, believe it or not, because he knows if Jeremy bets, he's forced to call pretty much whatever he bets.
Any bet you put in there, put yourself in 15 and get it all.
C-Mill916, welcome to the chat. Yeah, that river flush. That huge raise there on the turn got in that pot.
Yeah, that's what your clubs, right?
That raise got Jeremy that pot for sure.
Even if he makes his club too, with the board pairing, he's equally going like great. Like I make my flush.
Looks like we're sitting now 26, 27K on the table. You know, just mop everybody up and go home with 30K. What's the big deal? Go home with 30 racks. Easy game. Come on down, get in the game. Use the Stones Live app now. Stones Gambling Hall. It's available on Google Play or the App Store on your phone. Unfortunately, it does not provide free buy-ins, so you're going to have to bring your own buy-ins to the game.
Right.
We're working on that, though. Maybe in the next update. Free buy-ins.
What?
I mean,
Okay, well, we're not going to
Trying to like science through Azan's call on the turn there. I think I guess he thinks that Jeremy could be semi-bluffing a hand like 5-6, like could open into that turn to pair, or a hand like 8-9, pick down pair that once again pair and open into straight draw. 3 stacks of high society, that's it.
such a good flick. If you haven't seen Rounders and you're watching this stream, do us a favor. The second this stream ends, stream Rounders. Thank you. This has been your public service announcement. Oh, disco for Daryl. Disco Daryl. nailed it. It's going to be Broadway for Daryl here to scoop up on ace. There you go. Pots at 575. Daryl fires out 375.
Camaraderie in the fun, you know, that was.
Jay's got one of the worst aces.
Yeah, and it's a 4-card straight up board. It's not like it's not like Daryl's hand's really hidden. And even if he doesn't have the straight, it's very easy for him to have any sort of King Jack, Ace anything combo with 2 pair, King 10, 10 Jack. I just unless Tay puts Daryl on a complete bluff, I really don't see him making this call here.
Yeah, if there was like a busted flush draw off the flop, something like that, might be a little bit more justifiable calling off here with ace-5 as the hand played. I think it's really hard for Daryl to be bluffing here. But then again, it's Daryl. And Daryl's got betting problems.
And it's funny, this is why I like our action tracker. I'm looking back at the action of how it all worked out, and Tay was the aggressor this entire time. And then Daryl takes over when this river hits. It is a good bluffing opportunity card for him, and that may be what Tay is thinking.
I just look at the sizing and I just like don't think he's bluffing off.
There we go. All right, Tay's getting out. I was worried. I was like, oh, he's gonna make this call. I'm scared. I'm scared for chips. So Daryl does catch up there on the river.
I think Tay was hoping to get some sort of a live read off of Daryl. Daryl wasn't giving off anything. I don't think he was posturing or tanking there. I think he was really hoping that something he would do would get some sort of reaction out of Daryl, or in this case, maybe a lack of a reaction to tell him, which way to go here. Mind you, it is Daryl. Daryl's got a lot of betting problems. He's kind of a mess of a human being, but we love him.
Huh.
Chip on 11, please.
Guys, don't forget to click that heart. We go live every Monday and Wednesday here at Stone's Gambling Hall, located right outside Sacramento, California, in the luxurious, as Justin likes to call it, Citrus Heights, California. Actually, I think he refers to Stones as luxurious, but we're gonna give a one up to Citrus Heights as well.
Chips, 2,000 behind you, Chips.
Nice to see. Since they'd imagine that a lot of 1025 players play like 1-3 players, but just with a nicer car.
Nicer cars, right?
Yeah.
I mean, instead of a Honda, it's a Porsche. What's the big deal here? They play poker online because the Tesla drives itself. Like, I get it. Okay, like that's really what you're about. Just trying to make that grind. More coffee for the Wizard Jake, please.
Well, we can't.
They're showing again, but they're showing I have King 6, and that's when I had to make.
I mean, as long as you don't tell us, then I didn't know.
He just hit a home run.
I didn't know I couldn't do that.
Oh, what a good.
So Jeremy with 75 to go. Tay comes along, as does Jeremy and Tom.
It is.
Jack 4-4.
Yeah, you're right. That's awesome.
Swing and a miss.
Yeah, it's Swift City for everybody.
Not much rep on that.
Population, Tom, Jeremy, Daryl, and Tay. Battle of the nothings. That's not going to stop Tay from firing out. 310 out there, and Tay is going to fire out something here. We're going to find out. Fires out 150, solid half bet, half pot size bet.
Wow.
Master C says, I want autopilot on my car so I can stop sleeping in the bar parking lot.
Hit a home run.
That's just responsible of him.
I had the privilege of driving a car that did the self-parallel parking.
Oh yeah, how was that? What kind of car was it?
Chevy Volt.
Oh really? That parallel parks too? Awesome.
Yeah, it was, but it's a trick, you have to get your hands off the wheel.
So how does it work? You just pull up next to a spot, and then you just hit go?
No, you just tell it that you're like looking to park, and like the radar turns on, so it's like looking for a spot to park, and it lets you know like, hey, there's a spot we can get into, and then you take your hands off the wheel, and it does the thing for you. But
the problem is if it knows it can get into it, like most normal people don't know how to get out of it, so like you're gonna ding ding ding, they're just gonna like Austin Powers bumper you out of it.
I'm just thinking like to myself, like someone at some point is gonna be like, like Punch and Chewy, and like still sleeper.
Speaking of that,
well, like we're close. Like we're gonna get car. I mean, Tesla. I think we get cards for themselves. 1025 players.
Close enough. So 678 says, does Jeremy play a lot of these 2.5 no limit games here? 2.5K no limit games. I don't know. I haven't seen Jeremy a lot myself here.
Jeremy comes through for the bigger games.
He does. Okay.
Jeremy's not slumming it.
Maybe he is slumming it. Maybe 1025 is slumming it for Jeremy.
Right, so like the ham they're showing right now,
Raise it up.
He had the street, he made them 1,000.
No, they're like 10 minutes fine.
That's good. That will lead to that. The car themselves officer. I'm not driving my car. I'm intoxicated. The car.
You know, I figure we're screwed because if you can get a DUI like riding a horse, then I don't know if we're gonna get out of it. But if you put on autopilot and you're physically like in the trunk or something, you're like, guys, there's no way I can be driving. Not even a chance.
And then I'm gonna be a heads up with
Jump in the backseat. Harlan makes it 125 to go, 6-4 off.
Now we're back to Harlan. Now Harlan's in the game.
Jeremy says kick rocks. I got 2 quad draws.
I'm gonna free those.
I ain't folding.
3, ace, 8. The second I saw the 3, I was like, watch Harlan's gonna flop open-ended and just nail it. So it looks like Whip City, Jeremy with the mystery hand, Harlan here with 6 high.
I'm gonna give you one.
Check.
This board is
Another
not
8 peels off. I believe that was a quick check from Harlan again, maybe?
So they're saying, oh, he won with Jack 10, and really the hand that won was straight.
Jeremy's first to act. He checks over to Harlan.
Harlan does have the button of power. And Harlan loves that button. It looks like, for the way Jeremy's posturing, yeah, Harlan definitely fired it a bet.
Look what has he on the sizing there.
Yeah, 285. I don't know what that bet was, but it looked pretty large. It looked like a bet that said, I have 4-6, please don't call.
Right?
That'll get you a dumb ball down the road.
I think
Harlan shows the bluff.
Try to
Harlan is going to work for him in the future.
$100 on
you know, play free cappers. What's this with
Every time I just do a quick add up of those chip stacks, I'm like, wow, there's solid cash on the
Now
table.
you're showing up, huh?
Yeah, no, you just
I had to wait till the street.
So Jake D here, our resident showing attitude with just over 5 today.
Screw it up.
yeah, you need that equity.
See, I got back to the streaming now.
You can't call compare things without having the street on, so everyone gets to witness it.
I have the potential for a monster, man. I can't hear
What I
all
like about doing commentary with you, you don't try to push me out of the booth like Tuckman and Justin every time I'm in the booth with them, dude. Every time I'm in the booth, every couple minutes, I'm just like, bye guys. Bye.
I know my place.
Or they're trying to sit on my lap.
Accidentally lawn care.
I'm sorry, I thought that was my penis.
Hello, hey.
Tay makes it 75 to go, Queen 10 off, Harlan is called 8-9 off. Matt with a suited king with a fed to big. As does Nathan, king, queen suited small blind.
I love Matt's just tower of white on the ships here. So the Queen 3-5 here peels off, couple of diamonds. Tay and Nathan both connect with their queen.
Nate leads for 75. If I'm Tay here, I'm just calling, he does.
Which is kind of a small bet relative to the pot size here. Oh, raised to 2 1/4 from Tay.
Wow, Tay makes it 2 1/4?
All right, well, okay, that escalated quickly. So now pot's at 750 here. Ace peels off, no help to anybody.
Now if you're Nate, you gotta worry that Tay might have raised you on the flop with like ace-x diamonds. Hand like, you know, ace king, ace queen. Harder for him to have ace queen, but like ace jack, you know, diamonds. Something he might have, you know, raised a small pro bet with. The ace comes off, and Nate, rather than taking the check line...
I was going to say, these are always interesting lines that they take, right? If the graphics are right, then Nate fires out 75, Tay raises to 2 1/4, and then Nate just fires right back out to the guy who raised him, and I always find it interesting when we take these lines because I feel like it could go either way. It's a weird line to take, you know?
Diamond comes off on the river. That might slow down the action.
Jason Genova, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for joining us. These guys bankrolls, you know, I don't know their personal finances, but these guys generally play in these higher limit games. These guys they aren't strangers to this game, so I'm sure that they're sitting pretty healthy.
And Nate, as if he somehow knows that Tay was playing back or popped him on the flop with just a small queen, makes a value-sized bet of 750 on the river. Wow.
Nate playing that queen king like a much stronger hand than queen king, you know what I mean? He took that down solidly.
Lester's going to go to the 7th and Lester, of course. We'll give it 2 more rounds, and then they're going to...
No DUI for riding horse in drunken Montana.
Well, I'm moving to Montana. That settles that.
So, Dear Diary.
That's
Today we decided to move to Montana.
It was going to be Oregon for no taxes, but now it's Montana just so I can get hammered on a horse. What if I'm drinking on the horse? Calm down.
Yeah, like the wheels are turning.
I can see what you are thinking.
Yeah, what if the horse is drunk?
If the horse is drunk, he deserves to go in the drunk tank.
Yeah, but how do you, yeah, you're like, we're trying to breathalyze the horse.
Could you imagine that? You're in a drunk tank and all of a sudden they walk a horse in there and you're just sitting there and you're like, really? Is this happening?
All right, Mr. Ed.
We're gonna just avoid the whole why the long face joke and just fucking out of there, okay?
You don't get it, I was famous once. All right, Ed. Just put it away. Daryl makes it 125 to go with a 6 of hearts. Kay makes a call, ducks. Ozzy can't defend. Jeremy is punting 10-4.
Heads up.
He says yes.
Three-player.
It's a three-way.
4-5-7 on the flop. Connects Jeremy's 4 here with possible running diamonds. All overs for Tay.
Monster for Daryl.
Daryl is just hitting this thing like, I don't know, a punching bag? Let's go with it. Open-ended, flush draw for Daryl. Nailed every piece of it you could.
Daryl should be raising the balls off this hand.
The ball's right off. So Tay correctfully gets out of there. He's gone. And unfortunately, I don't know if Jeremy can come along for this party here.
He's got backdoor diamonds, bottom pair.
I mean, Jeremy fires off like that instantly and then gets super quick raised by Daryl.
But Jeremy might not be having it yet. Jeremy says, I like to fold. I didn't come here to fold. You're wearing sunglasses, so I can't trust you. So you clearly gonna choose the wine in front of me.
Yeah.
And Jeremy makes a call.
If a diamond 4-10 peels off, that's kind of an ass.
Straight card.
It is a straight. That's disco for Daryl.
Might help Jeremy get away here. Or Jeremy might pretend to have a 6. Jeremy can easily have a hand like 7, 6, 5, 6, 4, 6.
Daryl's like, I'm just gonna show you my hand because I had every out in the world and
$600
nailed
bet
it.
actually told me what you had, so I couldn't get out.
Yeah.
So that's
I
a
was
solid
hoping, like,
$600 come up there for
I'm
Daryl.
good now. Let's just.
I was looking for a set. He was set my.
Jeremy spoke in class.
I had some diamonds and I had a 4 and I was gonna.
Pro Chair.
No, I got the pro tech rep. Jeremy spoken.
Honestly, I was hoping you had spoken to me last night.
Yeah.
Just get one more because I knew I had that all thing up.
Back up. I knew you turned.
Yeah, I had the
Straight flush,
back
what's
of the
going
control.
on? Sorry if we are not loud enough for you. Generally, we are too loud.
Right? Like,
Sorry about that.
My bad.
See, that was the
Jake
kid I
will
was
try to
hoping
yell
that was
louder.
I swear. You look like a top pair. Now, you know, I can.
Actually pulls a Harlan.
I can finagle something.
Who's got ace rag and $75 to make everybody pay for it.
Now you know what he's doing.
As long as everybody has to pay for it, you're
Got
good.
a bowl of butterfly wings. Why not?
Don't forget it was you.
Nate.
So many song references.
Grungy.
Don't discount.
Nate, let's go with the 6-3 of spades. A little surprise there. I think it's kind of the kind of hands that Nate likes to play.
I mean, you got
Straight flush has me blushing.
Hey, listen, I need that.
All right, so 6-7 jack here on the flop. Open-ended for Jeremy, for sure. Harlan with ace-8 high.
Backdoor straight, backdoor net flush.
Turn got nothing.
And this is why you call with a 6-3 of spades if you're Nate.
Yeah, because you just got 2 pairs,
Two
straight
pairs,
the world.
flush draw.
What do you not have, basically? So disjunctive logicism talks about
Bankroll management.
bankroll management, and I agree with you. I think that generally speaking, I don't like to risk, and we talked about this before on a different stream. I don't like to risk more than about 5% of my bankroll. Sure. Right, on any given catch game time. So if I'm buying in for 5K, you're right. I mean, I should definitely have 100. If I buy in for 5K, it's not like I have 15K in the bank. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that said, I think there's been a lot of great articles written on like shot taking. If the game is good, there's nothing wrong with like, hey, I'm going to jump up,
Just taking it.
take a shot, find the spot.
Yeah.
I generally play mostly the 1-3 here and the 2-5, but I find myself, sporadically playing some really juicy 5-10 spots as we pick them up here time and time again, just because you can't pass on moments like that. 10 1/4, a little outside of me, but that's it.
There you go. I just adjusted my mic a little bit, guys. We'll see if that helps out a little bit with you. We'll come in for the movie previews voice when it's applicable.
Does that help? Is that better? Are you ready?
But it also matters, I mean, when it comes to Bitcoin management, if you're playing for a living versus if you're playing recreationally. I mean, if you're a professional player, then Bitcoin management obviously is much more critical than if you're playing recreationally. Because recreationally, you can supplement your income with a day job.
Of course, because your day job, I mean, you're playing more for fun. But speaking of fun, talk about having Trip Kings here for Nate. That's always fun. I don't know if anybody else can really give him a whole lot of action, though.
Come on, Chubby, get out there.
Easy game.
I think when they do the chip count.
Oh God, talk like that the rest of the show. I don't know. It's good in small doses, I promise. You have to leave you wanting more.
Right, that was a fun. When I had my...
One man, one desire. Who will win this pot?
Exactly right. It's a visual estimate.
Oh, yeah, when they just did the first when they started, I had like, they said I had like 14 all right, I love that. I was waiting to do my partner up in I said, I got this.
So 1608 has a good point here, or mixed point. In this game, 10 buy-ins for 2500 is probably fine for any pro. Win rate should be decent 9-handed and not much 3-bet should be meaning a pretty low variance game. That's a good point. Like, and depending on how swingy the game's playing, I mean, because I mean, if you've seen here, so the 1-3 and the 5-5 can play it completely off the chain.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
oh, yeah.
it's gonna be a very very swingy game. And a game like this where we're seeing players flat ace king. It's gonna be a much more. I mean, at least as we've seen it playing right now, a much less swingier game. You can then play a little bit with or fewer buy-ins, anticipating less variance.
See how friendly that was?
King 8-3 rainbow checks through 10 on the turn.
C-Mill 916.
Jeremy 2-pair.
What's up? Welcome to the chat. I know exactly what you're talking about. Who doesn't love a little Pablo Francisco? After this hand, we might get a little bit of that action in there. Ooh, that's a couple white chips. Is that what I see there?
Harlan's got top here. Jeremy pops him. Harlan makes a call. Brick on the river, and Jeremy is very good here. Wow, Harlan makes a quick $500 bet, and Jeremy snaps. 10s and 8s for Jeremy. Top, no good for Harlan.
Top, no good. Earlier, he was saying the little tortilla boy. There was that's actually where I got the movie preview skit voice from. There's
Pablo Francisco, yeah.
Of course, right? When he's just like,
In the city, you must fight to survive. He sold tortillas on the corner, and the mob wanted in.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is
Little tortilla boy.
I saw Pablo Francisco do that live actually, and there was a down here locally in Sacramento, and there was a super drunk guy in the audience, and he just
I apologize for that, right? I apologize.
The entire time he just kept yelling, "Do the movie previews voice, do the movie previews voice."
I dreamed or died in that whole bit when he did the Are You Ian? Taking ecstasy on the dance floor. Not that we know what that's like, but. Back to poker.
Oh, there's poker and Tejas Kings? Is this allowed? Alright, so we got a solid raise here, buck and a quarter, a couple callers coming along.
And Tay checks it over to Harlan, super sneaky.
Very sneaky.
And there's a check raise. Harlan it's 200. Tay check raises to 7. Harlan's got about 2,300 back. And Tay's trying to get this in on the turn. Harlan's thinking, why wouldn't Tay c-bet? Hard for him to have, what's got like pocket jacks?
Yeah, I think it was just Harlan instantly. Like Harlan leans over to look at his hand. I love it. Good old Harlan. Harlan just leans over like, "You're gonna show it, right? Are we not showing cards? I mean, I'm gonna see it in 25 minutes. Are we not showing cards?
It's okay to show.
It's okay. It's good." Rick and Barstow. Good old Barstow.
Just showing me why not check call, because I think you're expecting Harlan to have a lot of hands he's going to want to continue with. If he's got a straight draw flush draw, he's not folding. And Harlan might not be in the mood to fold a lot of jacks there either.
They came to play, didn't they?
I'll tell you what, though.
I don't mind check raising kings there at all. Mind you, we're check raising for value. We're expecting to get calls there a lot. On that board, it's pretty coordinated. Jake's gonna pick up queens here.
Come on down to Stones, guys. We just give away pocket pairs like candy. Leftover Halloween candy. Not that fun size crap either. It's king size. Raise to 150 coming up. And it looks like Jeremy says, I'll be your Huckleberry. Let's come along. Heads up action, pot sitting 335, king 8-6 on the flop. A little bit of a scare card there for Jake. Not that much of a scare card. Ah, look at that. Jake repping the Stones shirt, love it. What are average tax sizes in the 5-10 game, roughly, normally?
Actually not too dissimilar to this, honestly, at times. 510 will run anywhere from, 1K to 5K deep.
Okay.
For most stacks. Once again, we've had some off-the-chain games that just we can't talk about here on stream.
Exactly. These games are borderline illegal. They shouldn't even be allowed to happen, but they do.
Harlan breaking off the rubber band.
The rubber band bankroll, solid. Yeah, this, I would imagine if you're playing this game, it will probably be above most people's general ATM withdrawal limit. So I would say that you probably want to bring in the rubber band bank. Those are important. Poor Master C.
Getting all excited like a little kid over here.
Master C just yelling at our bots.
It's a live 75 from Nate.
Welcome to the stream, guys. Those of you just tuning in, click that heart and subscribe. This is a 10-25 live 75 game. Bring it.
Tom completes at ace-9. Nate. It's his option with the 6-4. He's got position. You can't imagine Tom's got a really strong hand here because he just completed, did not open out of the big blind versus a live hand in the straddle. Wow, monster for Tom.
Queen, ace, 10. Was that a couple of hearts there?
I'm definitely betting here if I'm Nate.
So beastie.
It's so hard for Tom to be really strong because he just completed the small blind versus the straddle.
And so Nate fires out 100, little tester bet, and Tom is just going to call. Now that's kind of like a card, one of the few cards that
might slow down Tom.
Didn't actually want to see. So 4 cards straight out there on the board. Tom still has a world of outs.
And Nate's got no outs, so he has to bet.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I did miss a PO Solver giveaway. God damn.
Oh, and that's going to be the danger card to get Nate to pay because that's going to straight the board out, but also give Tom the flush. So pot's at 1,000, and depending on what Tom bets here, I think Nate might have to look him up. Oh, you see the little head shake for 750, brutal. You see the head shake from Nate. He does not like it. Calling the chop is never fun, especially when you're calling the chop and you're actually not chopping.
Against an aggressive player like Nate, I would have been a little bit more inclined to check raise here. Now Tom, you look at Tom's body language, Tom looks, I mean, obviously we know that he's nutted. But Tom looks a little uncomfortable in his body language there. Nate looked over him and kind of shifted in his seat a little bit. Tom might be trying to sell this, a little bit, like he's just kind of full of it. That said, if you're Nate, you're calling the chop. Long term, we know that's not profitable.
Calling the chop
if your best case is even money, and every other scenario has you dicked, we should mostly be folding here or drinking beer. It's, you know.
I'm with him though. I'm with him. But just like, you know what,
Yeah,
dude?
or you just
when you
like-
got these decisions, like this beer is gonna help. I don't know if it's gonna be a $750 beer. It might be.
I definitely, if I was Tom here, would have leaned more toward check raising. Because if Nate's airballing, which he oftentimes can be, as we see that he is, you take away now his options to bluff. Now that Nate's not capable of jamming here, Nate is. It's so sick. Nate is like the one guy at the same
Nate let it go.
who's capable of like stuffing it there.
Oh, like
on a stone.
restuffing over.
Yeah,
Oh
like,
my God, that'd be
kick rocks
so
like a
brutal.
horse.
Yeah. Disjunctive, you're absolutely right, but not calling a chop pot also sucks. It's just a crappy position to be in.
Yeah. And you hate that because you feel like you know someone's like really, man, like come on, they're straight on the board. People like you're just like trying to you're being a dick, man. You're
Yeah,
being
yeah.
a dick. Why are you being a dick?
Why are you doing that? Just be cool, honey bunny. Be cool.
Be cool.
Why you gotta? Why you gotta? And a lot of times too, they over jam like a ton too, right? Like pause. Well, right there, pause 1,000 is like 750. You're like, I hate you so much right now.
But you know what? If you're never getting bluffed in poker, you're a calling station and you're paying off too much. That much is true.
I think that's enough reviews to be sitting there watching. You have to mix them together.
Action folds here to Jake.
Together when they get here.
Super secret cards.
Ah, the super secret cards. 2 wild ones.
That's what I started.
Pocket jokers for Jake. Clearly good. I would raise to 100 as well. Daryl coming on in. As is Harlan.
Jake makes it 100 to go. Daryl makes a call with a king jack of clubs.
Thank you for keeping it.
To the flop, 10, queen, 5. Couple of hearts there.
Open into straight draw. Backdoor clubs for Daryl.
Harlan spikes at 5. And
And
top
backdoor.
2 for Nate. What a beast.
Chips.
Chips. Fireworks, barrels.
Checks over to Harlan, who's going to take the worst of it and put some chips in the pot. He bets 275 with his pair of 5s and backdoor clubs. Nate makes the call. Top 2. Just calls. Jake says yes. What does Jake have?
I love our chat. It's so sick. They're like, 8 of clubs, super stupid action card. Let's all hang out. Oh, 8 of clubs is busy. 8 of clubs is busy. Harlan's
Very
got it.
busy.
We're just kidding. Hey, Ryan, 77714. What's going on?
I would not mind a squeeze here if I'm Daryl.
Squeeze from Daryl?
Yeah.
I was just seeing how it sounded.
Play back these pots. No one of these guys. I mean, Nate should never be as strong as he is here with top 2 after he just calls Harlan against multiple opponents.
Disco for Daryl.
Or you just get there. That's the other plan.
I think earlier it was also Disco for Daryl. We're going to call him Disco Daryl. Ask and ye shall receive. Stone Cold Nutskis. Huge ones for Daryl.
Interesting line here by Nate. Nate looks to just call top 2, and now 4 ways is going to bet, what, 800? Into the turn.
And that's just got to feel great if you're Daryl right here.
Jake. Too many opponents behind him. Don't know what he has.
Jake's gone. Now, if you're Daryl here, puts the pot at 2,300. Now, was that no hesitation from Daryl? That was an instant all-in from Daryl. See, and that just, it shows so much strength right there. I mean, I might have played a little differently. I probably would have put in maybe a raise, but less. And I would have taken my time. I don't know about
I'd
insta
flat
jamming
there a
there.
lot.
Flat,
I
right?
flap there a lot because if you're so lucky that a heart fades, not that you're worried about like your opponent having a heart.
Well,
and
I
getting
don't
there.
necessarily, but the way Nate's betting this hand, I don't necessarily put him on a heart draw. I don't think he's
You know what I'm
firing
saying?
with a
Like,
heart draw.
what you might be hoping there is that heart's brick out, and your opponent checks you, and you just and you jam, and it looks like like a busted heart draw, and it's possible for you to get paid off. I mean, now as Daryl, I mean, if he knows that Nate's this strong, then he can do this.
Yeah.
Then if he knows this strong, he might not be doing this as well. But if you're trying to get paid off by one pair type hands, it's gonna be hard for even a hand like Ace Queen to call you here, or even Pocket Kings. There's so many hands that beat you. Even if you have Kings here, it's hard for Nate to have Kings with no 3-bet pre-flop. But if you're trying to get max value from your hand, I really think flatting here and then stuffing stuffing the river is optimal. That said, he thinks.
Jake Ron says, "You want an action? Well, is this what you wanted? Well, yeah. I mean, of course is what we wanted.
And yeah, he gets.
Are you not entertained?
And Nate gets away from it. Good fold by Nate.
Absolutely. A lot of players would just get married to that top 2 right there. Maybe say, oh, what are you just stuffing it on a straight draw, flush draw, whatever. You know, you just got draw. You got a very drawy hand, and you're going for the pot. And that's not the case there. So Nate's actually been putting Nate, you gotta give it up to Nate. He's been putting a couple tough spots right off the bat. He was putting in the whole chop pot spot where he fires 750 into the pot of 1,000. He's just like, screw you, this sucks. Got away from that correctly. Got away from that hand correctly as well with top 2. So again, kudos to Nate for sure. A light golf clap. A light golf clap for Nate.
Well played, Nate. Well played. Not an easy spot. I mean, once Daryl goes back and watches this, I think he'll want to revisit that, and I love it, especially with the flush draw on the flop. If he can get like so fortunate where hearts brick out, he can stuff the river there, and it just might look like a busted heart draw. It's gonna look more like a busted heart draw if he gets Nate to check to him.
Oh, on the river bet, you mean?
On river, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's it. With those stacks, if Nate were to lead river and then Daryl were to stuff it, then he's not gonna have a lot of fold equity. Then it's gonna look more nutty. But if he is so fortunate where hearts break out and he can get Nate to check, which mind you, he can't be expecting Nate to have a lot of 2-pair plus there the way the hand is played out. I don't know. Then again, maybe I just like to overthink things. Jeremy's gonna limp in here with the queen 10 off.
You overthink things? Whoa. And definitely you're not talking fast from 19 cups of coffee by any means.
Oh, coffee.
Oh, coffee.
Daryl makes a 75 to go here with the ace-jack off. Harlan.
Harlan's got 9s here.
3-bet? Yes, we 3-bet 9s. Yeah,
yes, we sure do 3-bet 9s if you're Harlan. 3 1/4 is the bet.
Love it.
Now Tom's looking at it. Tom's like, I'm on the button. What are you doing? Why are you 3-betting, Harlan?
It's my button, goddammit. It's my button. Tom's got the 6-3 of clubs, and he's in a good mood. But seriously, with the coffee, what happened?
Loud noises. Maybe if you just grunt or cough loudly.
Tom finally thinks better of the 6-3 of clubs and gets away. Nate, who's been playing well, has not been running well, completes a small blind with the queen jack off.
Not running well. We'll take it.
And Nate is in a much better spot here with queen jack offsuit versus in a 3-bet pot out of position than he could ever hope to be. Queen jack offsuit should never be faring this well out of position in a 3-bet pot. Jeremy, in an effort to look less fishy, takes off the sunglasses. I said, I keep saying Jeremy. Why do I keep doing that? Daryl. God, what's my problem? Besides not having enough coffee.
Well, a lot of 5s.
Triple nickel.
And honestly, if you're Harlan, you're thinking like, this flop's great for me. If nobody can outbet me, if my 3-bet's getting through and nobody's 4-betting me, my 9s are most likely the best here.
You might worry about Nate flatting out of position in a 3-bet pot.
Maybe like 10s or something?
10s, jacks, you'd expect him to maybe be 4-betting queens.
But I think the only way you're going to find out is right there. And I think if he is any of those hands, I don't know if he's check raising that flop. He might just be check calling. I think the only way, I think Harlan played it correctly on the flop there. You got to fire. You have to fire.
Yeah, the thing about it is you're not expecting your opponent to have many pocket pairs worse than you, cold calling out of the small blind. So there really aren't any good turns. I mean, even though you're just looking your 9s to be way out in front there, most times you're only losing 10s and jacks maybe, but there are really no good turn cards for you. You don't want to see an ace, king, or queen.
There's no good turn card for you at all.
No good turn cards.
I would like to just take it down right here. Whole lot of 5s, and you don't have one. I'm in.
Now that I have aces there, I'm checking back aces all day long. Then I want to see some piece of art come off.
Yeah,
on the turn.
in anything. That's the one time that they spike their pair and then they flip the boat on me, and I'm like, I hate you. I hate you so much. I hate your face.
So Jeremy makes it 75 to go.
Over seat 1, Daryl.
Daryl's
Got to come along. Good
puts
old
the glasses
Daryl.
back on.
Damn it, Daryl. I know he's going by Disco Daryl. And Harlan waking up with 8s. I wouldn't be surprised to see another 3-bet from Harlan.
Against these opponents, I like flatting. He
No,
does.
well, no, he's gonna fly. He didn't 3-bet. He's like, I already got away with that last hand. I don't want to do that again.
Nate comes along the button with King 8 suited.
Jeremy with Ace-9 suited. All sorts of fun hands. As long with Queen Jack, 2-pocket pairs. This could be a dangerous board.
5 to the flop. 5 to the flop and 10 to the quarter game. I love it.
Yeah, I know. King 3 deuce here, couple of spades. King for Nate. He totally connects.
Jeremy reaching for chips.
Destructive says, how about a stuck column on the chip counter? This guy's down 8 grand. Like, oh, I didn't even know that until I reached in my pocket and there was no money there.
Jeremy leads into 4 opponents, Ace-9, red Ace-9 on King 3 deuce, all black.
Bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how that pays off for him.
And Harlan's thinking about overcalling here with 2 red 8s. Daryl's already called with 2 black 7s, and Harlan does overcall. Wow. In a weird spot, Nate's like, okay, I got a bet and 2 calls and an 8 kicker. But I'm going to call anyway because I've got backdoor clubs.
Because I do what I want.
And King 8 happens.
It's my game and I do what I want.
6 of diamonds helps no one. Nate is way out in front here with a pair of kings. But it's got to be hard for him to get value from worse. He can get value from flush draws. Now you got to wonder if you're Nate here after you see now Jeremy lead into multiple opponents on now multiple streets. Are we now not questioning whether or not our king with an 8 kicker here is any good? He led into 5 opponents, or 4, but he had position on 1. On King 3 deuce. 2 players called.
Daryl's gonna call
and
as
now
well.
he's leading again.
This pot is juicing up. And Harlan's just going. He's like, I don't want anything to do with this. You
And
guys-
now can Nate really overcall this again? Yes, wow.
5 changes nothing. Nate's still the best here with kings.
I guess now if we figure out King 8's good, I mean, we lose to Ace 4 of spades.
And look, Jeremy does not slow down. Jeremy's going with the triple barrel all the way down, and you gotta respect something about that. That's intense. That's not
He's
easy
cutting
to
out
do.
a lot of chips.
He is. I don't know if he wants to go quite that. 1,300 here.
He's gonna check
He
it.
cuts it out and checks. So that's got to have Nate feeling good on the back end. I got to imagine Daryl's going to check behind, and I don't see Nate firing out to any sort of value bet here, but I think Nate just maybe checks and tables it and calls it a day.
Daryl.
It says Daryl's
Wow.
checked. Yeah, Daryl did check. So yeah,
And
so it's
now
over on Nate.
Nate.
And Nate.
Somehow
checks to
knowing
him.
that King 8 is good here, or Nate might be trying to get Jeremy off of a better king. Maybe trying to get him to fold Ace King, King Queen. No, he's gonna think back. No. And Nate's gonna be very, very pleased to see that King 8 here somehow is good all the way through, overcalling
Huge
multiple
come up
opponents
for
on
Nate.
multiple streets.
Nate increases his stack almost $1,000, a little over $900 there. With that monster. I got you.
You got me.
I got it.
You're looking after me. You can tell that I'm jonesing over here.
I know. I mean, honestly, guys, I figured just put it right in his vein. Put the coffee right in his vein for him. He's on East Coast time.
That's tough. I mean, if I'm in Nate's spot, I mean, we love having position there. I'm definitely calling top pair, backdoor clubs, at least one street against these opponents. But after, even, I mean, a player like Jeremy, you see how creative and how aggressive Jeremy can get. Once he leads into multiple opponents on multiple streets, like that's not even checked here.
No, there's a lot of players behind him. Like you
Yeah,
said,
he's like
everybody's
kick rocks. So I'm going to put some money in the pot.
Yeah.
And you got to wonder at that point on the turn if I'm Nate. I mean, props to Nate for having bigger stones than I might have had in that pot. I'm really kind of questioning whether or not a king with an 8 kicker is any good there.
Yeah.
And it's not just because you got led into, but because you're overcalling. I mean, in the gap theory.
2 refills. Love you. Well, this is but yeah. Love you.
He's the best.
Around. Look, you got serenaded right
Where's
there.
the song? It's something.
I just want ice. And he wants cream sugar. I love you.
Yeah, props to Nate for taking that pot. I mean, and you mentioned earlier, Nate's been put in a couple tough spots early already. He's been on the wrong end of it twice, but has made the correct laydown.
Exactly.
And then there, somehow was able to overcall 2 streets with a pretty medium hand.
Exactly. So look at this board. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Nate is playing it right now. I mean, he is definitely doing some solid plays. So Harlan here, waking up with a world of a hand here. Flush draw for Harlan, king high. Ooh, not anymore. Look at this Jeremy just catching right on up there. Already at a 10. Now he trips up on the turn. And then 6 on the river, Brick City, and Harlan's draw turns into a whole lot of nothing. Harlan got away from that hand about as cheap as one can get away from that flush draw right there.
Wow.
So now we're talking about GTO in the chat here, Game Theory Optimal.
That's like an old Pontiac, you know?
Yeah, little GTO. It's an old car. It's a really nice restored one. So Straight Flushing's description here says playing each spot mathematically correctly and correct according to assumed ranges.
That includes, betting or sizing.
So if it's sizing, so for if you're 38% equity, that's kind of where you want to be, or you don't want to be overcalling that. You're awesome. Thank you so much. I got it. Oh my god, I'm spilling on myself. It's gonna be so bad.
Nom 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 nom.
Oh, look at that, hooking up the crack feed.
God, it's so good.
Thank you. He's the best around. I always assume. I do what I want.
Well, you have an alter ego. So, you're like, Deadpool, and you're like the off time. Or, I mean, nothing.
I don't even know who
you're
that
talking
Deadpool
about.
guy is, but apparently I sound extremely familiar.
Daryl makes it 150 to go with pocket 7s. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's the same hand he had a few spots ago. Jeremy takes a 5 deuce and says, "You will not steal my small blind."
3, 3, 4 on the flop.
Not a
And
bad
look at
flop
that.
for 5 deuce.
Oh my god, of course you call it 5 deuce, you flop open-headed, paired board irrelevant here. Daryl's got, and not a bad flop for Daryl 7s. I mean, come on. If you're not going to spike a 7, you might as well give me all unders. So Daryl bets 2 1/4.
And there's a check raise from Jeremy.
What a beast.
Ace on the turn.
Disco.
Oh, I'm sorry, no, he leads. Okay, so Jeremy check calls flop, leads with a straight,
Leads 800. There was pot size bet, and he shows him.
and despite Daryl's fishy-looking glasses, he gets away.
I'm not prepared.
I'm just saying, that's like a thing. I find that player wearing sunglasses, and I'm like, there's my fish.
Yeah.
We can say that about Daryl because we love Daryl, and
So guys, taking a quick
Daryl
look
can
at
quickly fold 7s.
yeah, taking a quick look at chip stacks. We're like 34K, 35K on the table.
And it will get deeper.
Yeah, come on down. Deeper and deeper. Come on down. Looking out there, we're running now. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, too many to count. 5, 6. There's like 8 other games going on besides this live stream. So no matter what your limit is, even if you don't have like a 100K bankroll, come on down. There's always a game here.
And it's a 64 cubbies. Game 7.
64 cups. You can see as the camera pans around everybody in the audience in the World Series, everybody's just like, we're so scared. Deeper and deeper.
Nate's going to try to limp into King 9 off. Matt makes it 125 to go, ace 3 of clubs. Does that go through? Does that go yard? Oh my god, the Indians just hit a 2-run homer to tie the game.
Oh,
Back to poker, I apologize. Matt makes it 125 to go, ace 3 of clubs.
Poker, baseball, poker, baseball.
Jeremy calls 4 tray off. Daryl comes along with the 6 deuce of hearts. Jake's got pocket 6s. He's in there as well. And Nate says, I got King 9, so why the hell not?
Queen 8-4 on the flop, super rainbow. Jeremy connects with his 4. Jake's monster 6s are somehow good here. Jake fires 300. Daryl gets out of there. Nate does as well. So does Matt. Over to Jeremy. No fear. No fear, Jeremy. Five peels off. It's actually going to increase Jake's equity a little bit here. It also gives him a straight draw as well. Wrong card for Jeremy. I don't think Jeremy's going to hang around much longer here, unless he puts Jake on a lot of air.
Jake leads for 500 in pocket sixes on Queen 854. Jeremy spoken.
That's me type singing. Today.
There.
What do I have? Just take a guess.
Jake takes down the pot. With a name like Jake, it has to be good.
Oh, wow. Look at that. With a name like Jake, pause for dramatic. It has to be good.
Wow. Cleveland ties it up.
Epic. Epic game here. Epic game on the TV. Everything's going crazy.
10 1/4, Game 7, World Series.
It's too much good stuff, and we're not even at AM PM. Right? Arthur's checking out, Tom's checking out, so is Matt over to Azan, also checking out. Jeremy will come along. Now that song's stuck in my head for the rest of the stream. Thanks a lot. You and Ghost of M, you both suck. Thanks. Appreciate that.
No, you don't.
It's the lovely Jen in the dealer box, causing a ruckus with these boards here. So ace-7-5 going to the flop here. Tay did put in a raise to $1.25, got a couple callers. Flush draw potential for Daryl. Tay does spike the ace, and
Jeremy's got a pair.
5, yeah.
Seven pairs the board on the turn. Checks over to Jeremy, who's going to take his pair of fives, turn into a bluff. Put some pressure on a couple peeps. Daryl might now think twice about drawing to his flush on a paired board, but against Jeremy, I would definitely still be drawing here. Wanting him to have a 7.
Haunting him.
Haunting.
Cool whip. Say what way.
And Tay says yes.
So the only out here for Jeremy is going to be a remaining 5. We calculate true outs here. That's not going to do it. We calculate true outs here, guys. So if somebody else mucked one of the 5s, that would definitely get taken out of the potential out pool. So when it only shows 1 out, you're thinking, oh, there's 2 5s. That's why. Angry Polak, NyQuil and Sriracha are mom juice tonight. Man, you know she's in a bad spot if there's no real mom juice.
And Jeremy's not done stabbing at this pot. What's that, 5 1/4? 5 1/4. Now, if you're Tay, you literally have the worst ace that you can have here, but he's going to go ahead and make the call.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you do. You're beat by ace anything, essentially. And that's good. That's a good call. And I think the Tay's maybe picking up on Jeremy, you know, calling pretty loose, betting pretty light. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he wanted to take advantage of that. I like how Angry Polak here in the chat says, as long as she puts mom juice in it, our Zambot replies with wine. It's not just her breakfast.
Angry Polak.
See, I knew we were going to see Angry Polak in here just because Nate's at the table.
Yeah.
Angry Polak's like, I'm just here for Nate, guys. Just here for Nate.
You'll be happy to hear that Nate's playing very well tonight.
He is. He's making that money, honey.
But props to Jeremy there. I mean, he knows. I mean, Jeremy knows he's no good there. He knows he's got to fire out to take down the pot. But you know, I mean, players like Jeremy, that's what they're relying on. They're relying on they're going to take this game to a level that most players are uncomfortable at. I mean, players like I said, when you literally have the worst ace there, you have nothing but a bluff catcher effectively, and calling off for 25 bigs or 20 bigs on a river. Most players are uncomfortable calling 20 bigs with nothing but a bluff catcher.
Yeah.
You know, and that's Jeremy's game. I'm going to put this game in a spot where you are uncomfortable playing one pair, playing pots bigger than you want to with one pair type hands. That and because I can.
Because I can't, because I do what I want. So look at this board. Speaking of
Here we
Jeremy,
go.
see, and that's the thing is like Jeremy, whose image gets him called by weak aces, when he flops a monster hand or something like this, like top tier, just 2-pair in general, I mean, this is going to get people to call him down, and this is when a player like Jeremy can really be scary. Because then you're like, oh, I totally got this. This hand will totally beat Jeremy, and all of a sudden you're like, boom, he stacked me. It happened. I blacked out. I don't know what happened.
Jake's gonna bet 300 with 6-5 offer on ace 6-4. I'm not sure what we're trying to accomplish here, but poker happens. We're trying to get there. That's what we're trying to do. 6 of diamonds on the turn, and Jake makes trip 6s. And Jeremy, this might help him save a little bit as his 4 now gets counterfeited. He's now losing to every other ace in the deck. He's gonna check call off 500, and that was the plan, I guess, with his hand. If you're Jake, you're just gonna go backdoor bingo bango and get there.
Wow, backdoor super bingo bango. He's like, hey, your ace 4 is cute, but I'm gonna have every other card on the board if you don't mind. The Jake and Jeremy show, man, right here. Wow. Look at this. So Jeremy goes running trips to a boat. Pot's at 2.9K now. Jeremy bets 1,000. He's really going for the spike here. I'm sorry, Jake bets the 1,000. He's really going for the spike in Jeremy here.
With a name like Jake,
You just love it. You got to root for the Jakes, man. Hey, anything with a J. So Jeremy, both Jakes, Justin, I'm in. All of it.
Jeremy says, I do not want to be bluffed right now. He hates the 6 on the turn. He knows he's going to counter. I'm alive.
Super Bingo Bango. We actually just say that for Veronica's entertainment value here. Not Nice Mice. This is a big game. I do not personally play this game. This is slightly above my pay grade. I have a mortgage, and this game might put a dent in that at the end of the month. Or pay it for me. So in that case, I'm in. Let's do it.
Just fire up that Stones app and put yourself on the list, right?
Boom, I'll do it right now.
Jeremy is still mulling this over. He is thinking that Jake might have busted spades, busted straight draw. He now shows the ace. He's trying to get a reaction out of Jake. He beats spades. He beats the 7-5, but he will correctly fold.
Now, he tries to get a reaction out of him. If any of you guys watch the World Series, I mean, this is nothing to do with what we saw as some of the table talk in the World Series from Mr. Super Annoying Kasuf or whatever the heck his name was, right? That was just a hot mess. Yeah, that was a super hot mess. But just to bring this up though, you saw him table one of his cards in heads-up scenario in a cash game. You're allowed to do that. You can table
both your cards.
Yeah, you can table one card. You can table both cards. You can
Stick to your forehead.
Now that is some awesome Indian poker, and I'm in. But you're allowed to do that. Whereas in a tournament, you are definitely not allowed to do that.
It's frowned upon.
Yes. I mean, if you do that in a
Also
tournament,
against the rules.
yeah, you might get a warning.
But I'm going to tell you it's frowned upon, so I'll encourage you to show me a card.
So, just a little heads up on rules, a little bit of differences between the cash and the tournament style of things as well. Mal Jr., what's up? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for hanging out.
Jeremy did not want to get bluffed by spades in that pot.
No, not at all.
Not Nice Minus, that's why we love cash. Tournaments are so much more freedom. Tourneys are so stuffy. So the rules, yeah, no, I feel you. For a lot of players, not unlike myself, cash games fund our tournament habits. Most players in this market might know me as a pretty competitive tournament player, but it really is cash games fund our tournament habit.
Yeah,
Lon McCarran in the chat.
Law McCarran, what's going on? Run it twice in tourney action. Do it.
I want to
Love
see
it.
that. I want that somewhere.
That'd be hilarious. So going back to this board, check it out. Jeremy spikes top pair with the queen. Luckily, if the club comes off on the turn, though, it could get a little messy for them.
How many miles is it from here to Hollywood? For me, it's 3 streets of aggression.
Boom.
That's how far, yeah.
Done. So Harlan picks up a gut shot straight draw here, along with a few outs, so he can pick up an ace or a jack to scoop this pot, and that's going to be none of the above. Yeah, I think you know. I mean, I have respect for people who strictly grind tournaments, but that is a prime example of the word grind. I mean, you go, you play a tournament for 8, 10, 12 hours, and that might not even get you to the money. That might just get you, end of day one, and that might get you to the bubble. And then you're like, okay, I just busted, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go hop in another tournament for another 8 to 12 hours. I don't know. It's I think really for me, anyways, and it sounds like for you too, a healthy mix of both. Tournament and cash.
It's all about balance.
Yeah. Right? Anything's an addiction, but everything in moderation's good. You're good.
I can quit whenever I want.
I can totally quit whenever I want. I quit yesterday.
Yeah.
So I can do it today.
Lon McCarron's been grinding. Just got done grinding the World Series of Commentary.
Yeah, straight up. World Series of Commentary.
Right? How long did that go last night?
Oh, dude, it wasn't until like 3 a.m. or something.
Lon just woke up.
Yeah, Lon's like, guys, I'm here. I'm awake. Barely.
Props to Quine Nguyen, our new World Series of Poker champion.
Took home what, just over $8 million?
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Now you can pay a little bit of mortgage with that. He has a bankroll to play this game. So come on down, come to Stones, hang out.
If I'm not mistaken, he's California. I think he's Twin Cities Bay Area.
Rad.
I could be mistaken. I usually am.
Well, then we'll definitely catch him in the next Stones Classic coming up.
Yeah, most people vote wrong about most things most times. Brian Devonshire had a great article that I reference oftentimes talking about why you actually cannot play live tournaments for a living. Online, whole other thing because you can multi-table and play this huge volume. But it references, God, what's his name? Chris Mormon, who has played more the top-ranked tournament player in the world. His record and what you're actually expecting EV is how many games you can play, trying to play live tournaments. You're just trying to cut out $60K a year, which is not a lot of money playing poker. You're talking about firing $240 to $300K a year in entry
fees.
And trying to do that live, you're basically talking about finding a $300 to $500 event every single day.
That's not going to happen.
Or near a 1K event every single day, and it's not realistic.
Speaking of realistic, look at this flop for Daryl.
Queen Vegas.
Yeah, wow. Daryl flops the Broadway straight right off the bat with the redraw to the royal flush here. The 10 of spades peels off. Fortunately for him, nobody else really has anything to look him up.
Okay, so Queen is Vegas.
If he wasn't before, he is now.
And I'm sure I'm mispronouncing that. Kui, World Series Poker Champion. It wasn't Vegas before, it's Vegas now.
Yeah, exactly.
He is Vegas.
Oh, not nice mice. Never confuse Lon McCarron and Norman Chad together, man. That's just not cool.
Who? Nate gets away, and Daryl shows it.
He's like, yeah, check it out.
How do you know?
Not nice mice is one of the ex-wives. Jake D here as our resident chip leader at the table, just over 7K. And I mean, it's a good game when even the shortest stack still has 2,200 in front of them, and you're the short stack,
Queen, there it is. Queen. All right, I was right there.
I'm just gonna call him Q Money. Vegas for 12 years apparently. Good for him. Well, he's waited long enough. Paid off finally. He's like, guys, how long does it take to win the World Series of Poker? 12 years. I got it. That's how long it takes. So guys, if you're just tuning in, thank you for joining us. Click that heart and subscribe. You are watching a 10-25 no limit game. Super juicy. And speaking of juicy, a lot of sixes for Tay here. 6-6 jack on the flop. Tay spikes trip sixes.
He fires right out at it, hoping to get value from a jack or a club draw. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't look like much, no one's getting anything to play with him with. 12 years and 1 attempt. Seems about average. Standard.
Standard. Super standard. Standard, classic, bingo, bango. These are all Veronica's favorite terms. First try. I like it. Seems right. 12 years, 1 attempt. You're like, I've been here long enough. Maybe I'll just give a shot at the World Series, right? This is that thing that everybody plays. You win big money, you get your picture on a big poster and a pile of cash. Cool. I'll do that. I'm gonna go for a slightly smaller bullet this weekend at the circuit event in Tahoe. Go for one of those rings and a stack of cash about this big.
But it's hardware. I mean, money comes and goes. Hardware.
It's hardware. It's hardware.
Yeah,
then I gotta put it on this
ring,
big gold chain, and no, I'm not gonna go that ridiculous with it, but you know, maybe.
So Daryl goes right back to work. He makes it 100 to go with pocket fives.
Starting to chant at the card room, loving it.
How you doing, Justin? Sweating it. A resident Cubs fan in the room.
So intense.
6 up.
So 3-bet here for Matt H up to 335, putting the pressure on Daryl with fives, and it's gonna work. It's gonna get through. Daryl's gonna lay it down.
Yeah, Fedor, besides being a phenomenal player, is the definition of positive variance. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's Super Soul Crusher 5000, but even he'll tell you that he's run well.
Yep. Sage Gaming 369, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. This is some poker. This is a 10-25 no limit game, no max buy-in.
Yeah, 100K each, short and sweet, exactly. Fedor knows how to fire. Very selective. Yeah, I believe it was the what was the big one for one drop this year was an invitational only event. They wanted to cut all the pros out of the big one for one drop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it was only they wanted a small fishy field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes to
I was invited, but I was a little short of the 100K
yeah, just a little short, just a little short.
Yeah. No.
They'd be like, hey, thanks for the invite. Yeah, I'll totally be there. Hey, can I borrow 100K?
Yeah.
So
Jack 5. No, sorry.
Yeah. Oh no, you're good. Jack 5 there. Really not a whole lot for anybody. Jeremy's deuce is still ahead. Looks like they can check it through on the flop, but not on the turn. Jeremy's gonna fire out.
There's 2 flush draws Jeremy can get value from. Other than that, we're beat every time. As it is, he takes on the pot. What's 100K between friends?
Right?
I don't know, the way Jake's running, I'm gonna be like, might head him up after being like, all right, you, me, same.
Yeah, same. Let's do it.
Pay out.
Let's do it.
Come on.
Let's do it. I'll just take 100 easy payments of 1K a pop.
Yeah.
Sage Gaming, if you have 4.5 million in your bank spare, you should just come on down because this is, like I said, a no max buy-in table, so you could buy in for $1 million if you'd like at this game, and that would be pretty funny. Go all in, no peeky, every hand.
Just let me learn you something. Come hither. Tay's gonna make it 100 to go with the ace-jack offsuit. Harlan makes a call right behind him with a 4-3 of clubs. Jeremy, king-jack suited as the small blind, will complete. And Daryl, queen-9 offer, who tried to limp under the gun, calls as well. Jake also defended the 5-3, and Jake has a lot of fives. And Harlan has an open-ended straight flush draw. We should see some chips fly here.
Guys, you guys ready for fireworks? I know it's not the 4th of July, but we're gonna get some here.
Harlan should have the world for outs and no showdown equity. He should be bombing this pot. And there he goes. He's reaching right for chips.
Boom. Those are whites coming in. 500 out there. Looks like 300 bet from Harlan. Absolutely. So again, guys, those chips, those whites are hundreds, the greens are 25s, and the reds are 5s.
Jake just calls.
Just call Jake. All right, so now heads up to the 2 of the best. Oh, and he gets there!
Straight
Boom!
flushing.
Straight flush. Now, if Jake can fill up here and spike, oh my God, what if Jake spikes a 5?
5 to 5, 5 to 5.
5 some, good
Please.
lord.
I mean, not that we want people to lose money,
Oh,
but
wow.
we want a mess.
Wow, and this is a hand we are marking
Oh,
down for the
Harlan.
record books right here. Why do people always hit straight flushes when we're in the booth?
Why do people look back at their hand? Harlan, you know what you have? Jake's just gonna call. It's the right move.
No, that's
And
not
Jake
good.
now is gonna save some chips as he fails to fill up.
If he would have filled up, though, that would have been Stack City time, guys.
Bombs. 1700 in the pot. Your opponent check called twice. Bombs. He's either got nothing or he's got a monster. We fire bombs, Harlan.
So 1700, and Harlan is firing, was that 6?
Jake calls. Looks like 1K.
I got the nuts. Yeah, you do. You have a yeah. That's
Yes,
good.
Harlan.
Just a straight flush. We know.
Just a straight flush, Harlan. Hiya.
And Jake's thinking, so glad I didn't fill up.
Yeah. Oh, there's that 3 of clubs I wanted to
It doesn't matter. Any 3, a 5, it doesn't even matter. None of it matters.
Deucey. 3-5 deuce.
Oh man, another deuce too. Ugh.
And Harlan will explain to the table how he knew he was going to get there, why he's the best.
It's true. Have you played with Harlan before?
I love Harlan.
No, he's a good dude.
It's too much fun.
So it looks like we're well over 30K now on the table, guys. So come on down and get some of this.
Sage Gaming 369. We are in California, so get in the game.
Coming soon. Are you ready?
There are many agricultural enthusiasts in the region.
Horticulturist.
Gesundheit.
Thank you. Sneezed.
Jake, after losing all that money with the trip 5, is going to go back to work. Opens up the pot out of the small blind, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Jake makes it 110 to go with pocket 3s. Gets calls from Daryl, Harlan, Nate, who tried to limp in the... Can't see his hand. No, he folds. And Jeremy on the button will not fold the Jack 10. 4-way action. Deuce 4 queen, 2 clubs. Harlan actually flops the best of it with a pair of 4s.
And it looks like it's going to check through on the flop and peel off an 8 on the turn. Daryl's going to catch up.
And now Jake bets. Jeremy turned an inside straight draw. He'll make a straight with a 9. No, that's Daryl. I'm gonna. Jeremy, why can't I get those 2 right?
Oh, you keep mixing
It's
them
because
up.
their names are so similar. Jeremy and Daryl.
Yeah, very. Just so on point.
Jake bets 200. Daryl, who turned a pair of 8s, makes a call. Harlan now might have a little bit more difficulty continuing than just a pair of 4s. It was good on the flop, not anymore. Jeremy turned an inside straight draw. He would make a straight with a 9. He's thinking about it. If you're going to be drawing here to your inside straight draw, you want your opponent to have a huge hand to hopefully you get paid off when you do get there. After a check through on the flop, I'd be less inclined to draw to my straight here. Jeremy does make the call.
And
Or you can make a pair of jacks.
Jeremy spikes a jack. Jeremy catches up real quick, like. And I think that might be just enough for Jeremy to look. Yep. Oh, yeah. They check it through, and Jeremy tables the jack for the $1,100 pot.
Easy game.
Easy game, guys. Just bink one out in the river and get paid.
2 overs and a gut shot.
Easy money. Use the Stones app. Log in right now. Put your name on the list and come down and play an easy game.
We'll pitch you some pocket pairs. We get the money all in.
That's it.
Something holds up or something gets there. Next thing you know, we're all white trash rich.
It's true. It's true. Living in a van down by the river. No, I'm just kidding. I had to auction off my van just to play in this game.
Yeah.
And even then, it was like the min buy-in for 2K. It wasn't a nice van. Don't think highly of me. Take a look at those stacks there. After that monster pot Harlan banked with that straight flush, he's our resident chip leader, 5.7K, with Jake not that far behind him with 5.3K, Tom with 5.1. I mean, there's a lot of money on this table. Yet again, Stones where we give out pocket pairs. Oh, this is the one. This is the hand that we were talking about. 25-minute delay, guys. That's when they tied it up in the series.
He just hit a 2-run shot. Unbelievable. Of Chapman, who hasn't given up.
Jake wakes up pocket 10s here on the button, makes it 75 to go. Daryl makes a quick call, pocket 5s. Tay gets out of the way. Heads up to the flop. 175 in the pot. Ace, ace, 3. Pretty good flop for 10s. We like seeing 2 aces out there, not 1.
Exactly. I think both pocket pairs are being like, okay, hopefully the other guy missed it.
Now, if we think our opponent is going to get sticky with other pocket pairs, we can continue here for Jake. As it is, we check back. I don't mind that either. And now I'm Jake, I'm not folding.
So now we're firing out 2 1/4 from Daryl. Not Jeremy, Daryl.
If we're checking back pocket tens on ace-ace-3, we're doing it in part to induce bluffs on the turn. Wow, Jake folds. He thinks that Daryl's only leading an ace or a jack on that turn. But that's what I'm going to do. Like, I think if we're, ace-ace-3, it's hard for us to get value from worse, unless we think our opponent's always getting sticky with a pocket pair, you know, like 9s, you know, 8s, 7s, 6, all the way down to 5s, 4s. But that's when part of us checking back there is trying to induce bluffs on the turn. You hit like king queen, take a shot, you know, hands like that. Queen,
yeah, and then you can just call
X.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're inducing bluffs when we check back, showing a little bit of weakness.
So, like I always say on the stream, I want to hit the bad beat at this table, and I just got a glimpse. The bad beat is currently at 41,400. So we were close-ish with Harlan. We needed to connect with a better kicker and quads.
Yeah, we need both cards.
Both cards do play.
So it was we were drawing dead on the turn.
It was close. It was close-ish, and hopefully there's more to come.
Yeah.
Heavy on the ish.
It is still 6 apiece here in the Game 7 of the World Series. Harlan still, I guess we'd say chip leader.
Ace 7-10. Tay binks the ace. Jeremy's got a straight draw here if a queen peels off. And there we go, 10 of hearts on the turn. Jeremy, oh, look at this now. So Tay has a heart draw. Jeremy has a heart draw and a straight draw. Slightly smaller than Tay's here. Sage Gaming 369, we are on a 25-minute delay. We're commentating with you live. The actual footage we're watching is about 20-25 minutes old. So these players do watch the stream on their phone to get information on the other opponents.
But yeah, they're watching 25 minutes.
They're watching older hands. Why are they watching their phone? They're like, dude, I know what you have. I can see it right here. I'm folding. Nice hand. So we haven't seen much action from Azan. Azan got kind of wrapped up in that big ace-king pot earlier. And then I think and I think he reloaded for a little bit, and really not a whole lot else going on for him so far.
Runner on third, 2 outs, tied at 6 apiece.
Oh, baseball crazy. Oh, back over to Harlan. Harlan raises to 300.
Trying to get much of the action here. Look like Jake opened up the pocket force, yes?
Or maybe, let's see, Jake raised to 100. Did Harlan 3-bet to 300? Harlan with the mystery hand here. His cards are on the reader. Hopefully we'll catch up here pretty quick. So pocket force for Jake. Obviously the flop, no help to him. Ace, 10, deuce, couple of spades. And Jake fires out 500 and Harlan mucks it. Jake's gonna take it down.
Jake should have a lot of ace-x type hands in his range,
yeah.
Opening and then calling a 3-bet out of, when someone 3-bets out of the blinds and he calls there, he should have a lot of pocket pairs, but also maybe some ace-king, ace-queen there as well. He can be a little bit wider because it is Harlan 3-betting out of the blinds, but he should have some ace-x hands in his range, so representing the ace there on the ace, 10, deuce, 2 spades, I think it's fine. We're turning pocket fours into a bluff here, but I mean, we're never getting value from worse, so in position in a 3-bet pot, when our opponent checks on an ace-high board, I think we bet. I think we bet a lot. I think we might have had too much coffee tonight.
Just a little. Looks like all the 10s are busy there. Check it out. Daryl, Tay, and Harlan, all the 10s. So we got a raise here from Harlan with King 10 to 75. And looks like Matt's going to come along here with 7-8 of clubs. Ace, ace, 5. How many times have we seen some ace, ace brick on the board here? No help to Matt. They check through here. King, Jack of clubs peels off. Actually gives Matt a couple of outs here, along with more club draw.
And Harlan picks up the inside straight draw as well. He also does have king high. which has some marginal showdown value.
Take a look at Matt's outs here. 15 outs, and those are true outs, guys. That is a lot of outs.
Harlan makes a call.
And that's one of them.
There it is.
8 peels off for Matt.
And that's going to change Matt's course here with his hand. Matt's now going to look to check call here.
Yep, check call indeed. It looks like it was checked through.
Goes check.
Yep, check through, and Matt's 8 is going to take down a pot.
Flat caller, thank you for joining us.
Hey, later, flat caller, thank you.
And Matt gets there because he's Matt and he played 8-7 suited.
Well, I mean, with all due respect, he did have 15 outs.
It's hard not to have 15 outs when you have 8-7 of clubs.
That's what I mean. We were talking about it, man. I mean, at the end of the day, it's like if I know you have a big hand, the one hand, and I have to come in behind and snap you off. Give me that 7-8 of clubs all day. 8-9, 8-9 maybe. We'll go 7-8. Long live BA. What's going on? Welcome to the chat. Jeremy is spoken with a couple of ducks.
Jeremy Limpton. No, Jeremy Open.
Brazen today.
And thank you for joining us tonight while we ruin Pearl Jam for everyone.
Yep, sorry. If your ears are bleeding, that's our fault completely.
I'll take the credit and the blame. What the hell?
It's like the raise is 85. Jeremy, and Jake's going to make the call here with Queen 6 suited.
A little ambitious call here by Jake. Queen 6 of clubs.
With everybody behind him, I feel like Jake has just kind of got a bit of a target on Jeremy. And every time Jeremy's in a pot, Jake's like, I'll play with you. I'll box with you. 10-10-3 because we love paired boards here at Stone. No help to Jake. It's kind of actually a scary paired board when you got deuces as well. It's very easily counterfeitable, but Jeremy here with the best hand.
Not a lot to rep there on that board. Jake checks back. I like that.
Jack peels off. 6 on the river. Jake catches up.
And now Jake has got to show that he called and opened at a early position with Queen 6 of spades. He should keep that in mind as he moves forward here. Players might have that in mind. This guy's calling that wide.
So guys, if you're just joining us, make sure you go ahead and click that heart and subscribe. We broadcast every Monday and Wednesday night. We have all sorts of juicy action. Tonight is at 10:25 no limit. We also have 5-5 no limit, 5-10 no limit. We have a game called Veronica and Friends, which is just a hot mess of awesomeness. So make sure you click that heart and subscribe. We are always here to have some fun with you. At least a couple times a week.
Harlan makes it 75 to go. Tom calls quickly behind him with ace-8 off. And Jeremy with king 5 off will defend the big blind. 3-way to the flop. Ace-10, 2 clubs.
Wow, look at this board.
Harlan
flops super monster. Whee! And Tom, unfortunately, he flopped a big piece of it as well. And if an 8 peels off, I think we're going to see even more fireworks. But as it is, Tom is definitely along to give Harlan a couple chips here. 7 peels off. No help to Tom. At the end of the day, though, Harlan's got this hand on super lockdown. And Tom just kind of slow playing a little bit here. He's just calling along Harlan's bet. They let Jeremy fire out, and Jeremy actually hits the king. So this is beautiful. If you're Harlan, you're smiling all the way here. Jeremy's going to take the bet line again, first to act.
And Harlan's really hoping that someone made clubs.
Oh, he's hoping someone made anything to pay him off. So Jeremy fires out 125 again. Now Harlan comes along for the raise. Now this is going to make Tom think about it. Now the clubs did get there, so that could potentially play into Tom getting away from this hand.
He's got Jeremy behind him.
Yeah, and if clubs didn't complete, I think it's a pretty quick call for Tom here potentially.
With a bet and a raise in front of him, that's a good fold by Tom.
Absolutely. Good laydown, and Jeremy, let's see here. 250 to call. I mean, relative to the pot size, it's actually it's not that much more. And considering, yeah, I'm not surprised to see Jeremy call, because Jeremy was airballing it all the way down, and then when he actually caught up to where he thinks he caught up with a king, I'm not surprised to see him make that call. It was cheap enough.
And Tom's got to be thinking to himself that Harlan didn't play that hand faster. If Harlan c-bets the flop, we see a lot more chips go in the middle. Still 6 apiece in Game 7 of the World Series.
So yeah, guys, this is Stone's Gambling Hall. We're coming to you live from Citrus Heights, California, just outside Sacramento. If you have a place around you called Highway 80, hop on it and drive to us, no matter where you are in the United States.
Come hither.
We can come hang out. Jake will buy you a beer, or 5.
Yes. Multi-way action here. King 7.
Are we gonna like not have a paired board ever, or is this
No,
just...
we frown upon that. Like we don't,
Gotcha.
we don't not have paired boards.
Gotcha. I mean, not that the last 5 boards has flopped a paired board or anything.
Jeremy leads out with a Queen 10 on King 7. No, I'm sorry. It's Jake who leads Queen 7.
No, we don't even see Jake's hand.
He had 7x. I was pretty sure he had Queen 7.
Yep, Ghost of M, get on that freeway. Yes, you can. And a right on Antelope, right there. Just go a couple thousand miles and then right on Antelope Road and you got it. You nailed it.
Easy money.
Perfect. Fantastic. Good night for poker, good night for baseball. There's action everywhere.
Open from Tay, under the gun. Makes it 75 to go. Harlan makes a quick call. 9-7 off.
So does Tom. 10-jack suited. The monster hand.
Best hand in poker.
I think Matt might get out of this. I think Azan's gonna get out of this here.
I feel like Azan's gonna be dying a little bit inside that. Like he's got Jeremy and Jake immediately to his left, and hasn't catching a lot of cards. I think he really wants to get involved in the action here. Just kind of the deck is really cooperating.
Yeah, no. He's totally card dead right now for sure. So going to this board, King 3 deuce here, a couple of spades. Daryl spikes his king. Tay still with the mystery hand. We can't see anybody else here. Tay's checking out. He's pretty cut and dry Daryl pot.
Marty Man, 111, welcome to the chat. And to answer your question, yes.
You do. It's the absolute highest card that plays. So Ace Deuce of Spades will beat King Queen of Spades.
Or just if there's like 4,
Yeah,
to a suit,
exactly.
Have the one, yeah.
Absolutely. Marty Man, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us.
If you like what you see, click that heart button, throw us a follow. We will notify you when we go live. Mondays and Wednesdays. Some smash up poker games.
Very cool. Hi Flop, and what's going on? Welcome. Extra innings apparently for the World Series. Nobody likes a non-dramatic Game 7 tiebreaker game with extra innings.
It's only been 100 years for the Cubs. I mean, so why not go to Game 7 extra innings?
Whatever. Yeah, fantastic.
Absolutely.
All right, fresh hand coming out. Looks like we got a raise right off the bat to 75 from Matt with Queen 10. Azan finally waking up with a hand. I'm so excited to see him in a pot. He's going to make the call. I'll call $75. And for those of you who are just joining us, this is a 10-25 no limit game, meaning the absolute smallest bet you can make is $25, and the largest bet you can make is every chip in front of you. You can see all of our players' chip stacks right beneath their name. So going to the flop, looks like 6-4 queen, couple of hearts. Matt, our original raisers to 75, did spike a pair of queens here. And not really a whole lot going on for anybody else. Looks like Matt is going to continue betting, and he bets a 165.
Azan quickly folds. Everyone else gets out of the way as well. And easy game, you just raise Queen 10, flop top pair, bet, and take down the pot.
Easy money, $500 pot. That's going to actually be about 250 profit for Matt there. I flop him. See you in a couple weeks, man. Hop on that road. If you start driving now, I mean, no matter where you're at, I mean, as long as you have enough Red Bull, I think you can get here in a couple days.
You're just an excuse away. That's all I'm saying.
And really, if you're coming to play this 1025 game, any one of these pots is your plane ticket, so
Yeah.
come on over, come on down.
I raised, I made a C-bet, and then I went home.
Done. Easy money. Harlan with aces. Is that guy allowed to have aces? I don't know. We're going to find out. Jeremy's got a fun little 7-9. Checking out. So do we see Harlan come in for... Oh, Harlan's the big blind, too. Extra sneaky. So, there we go. We got a raise to 75 from Daryl on the button. Working that position.
Harlan. Brother Harlan with aces.
Marty Man, Jack forward win that. It's the one
Now,
highest
Tay.
card.
So we get a raise to 75 on the button with King 9 off. Tay takes the 8-7 suited and re-raises to 250 out of the small blind. And I love that move by Tay. Unfortunately for him, he's about to run into pocket aces here for Harlan in the big blind. And Harlan's just gonna call.
Oh, so
Get
sneaky.
super sneaky
so
here.
So sneaky. Now, I know we have a couple newcomers in there. A 3-bet basically means that there was an original bet, and then there was a raise, and then there was a re-raise. So that's a 3-bet.
And now this is gonna price in Daryl. I love Tay's move here. So the timing's terrible.
Oh, King 9 for Daryl.
Daryl's hits 2 pair.
Against Harlan's single pair of aces here.
Tay's got an inside straight draw, backdoor clubs.
Oh, man. Ayah. Wait for it. Crew Cat, what's going on? Welcome.
This board's pretty coordinated here.
This could get a little nasty here,
It's kind
guys.
of that balance between, yeah, it's dangerous enough, but at the same time, it's just coordinated where you can get value from worse hands here. Harlan bets, I think that's fine.
And now we're going to see Daryl, and this is the tricky part, that board is scary. I mean, because anybody with any sort of 2 face cards is either already made 2 pair, like with King Jack, or if they have King Queen or Jack Queen, they have a pair with the straight draw, they're not going anywhere. Heaven forbid they have Queen 10, they already flopped the straight. So it's a scary board for sure.
I would like Harlan to check this turn.
And looks like we got a 4 peels off. No help to anybody. That actually would have given our Tay-Boy over there a club draw as well.
Harlan does check. I like that. And Daryl should be betting your value. Looking at his effective stack sizes, there's about 4K behind.
These are solid stacks, guys. The pot's currently at 1,700 right now. And he bets, what was it, 4 or 6?
I'd like to see him bet about
He bet 7 1/4.
a little on the small side. We're trying to get our stacks in by river. I don't know what we're crazy about, but I think we can here. If we just get check called down, we should be good every time. So if we check raise, that's kind of weird.
So
we don't like that.
if you take a look at Harlan's out, guys, he is looking for a Jack to pair the board, because then he'll have a higher 2 pair, or a 4 to pair the board as well, or he can wake up with spike one of his aces, which would be pretty huge as well.
If I'm Harlan here, I'm calling, hoping that it goes check, check, river.
Split pots only happen when you guys end up with essentially the same hand on the river. Oh!
Jack and Harlan gets there.
Wow, Jack.
Harlan now has a
just
better
caught up.
2 pair. Now that's going to save Daryl a little bit of money here because he gets counterfeited. Daryl's now playing kings and jacks with a 9 kicker, and Harlan.
So prime example, Marty, man, if you take a look at the board there, kings and 9s and jacks out there, it's going to be the best possible hand that plays. So the 9, his pair of 9s is irrelevant now. The best hand he has is kings and jacks, and now that makes Harlan have aces and jacks. So Harlan is going to win this pot.
Wow.
Take down a huge pot, just over $3,000, putting Harlan's stack at almost 8K, 7,700 currently. Huge. And this is real money, guys. A lot of times you'll tune into something like the World Series of Poker, and you'll see, you'll tournament poker, and you'll be like, oh, this guy's betting 100,000. Those are all tournament chips. That's not real money. This is real cash money. These guys can get up at any time and put this money in their wallet. I'm just kidding, actually, because that won't fit in your wallet. That will fit in your rubber band bankroll.
I've got some big pockets.
Yeah.
God, how good is it to be Harlan? You wake up with aces, get out flop, and just get there.
And you actually run good, and I like Harlan's flat call pre-flop to the 3-bet. Nobody saw aces coming. Nobody saw Harlan's aces.
Tough go of it for Daryl there. Flop the best of it, and just a bad run out.
Absolutely. Bigger Ultra, what's going on? Welcome to the chat. Thanks for joining us, guys. Don't forget to click that heart. We are here with you at least twice a week, every Monday and Wednesday, hanging out. Going to the flop, no 7s for Tom. There is an ace for Jake though. He's going to catch up and fire. Looks like 100 in a $210 pot. And Tom's going to look him up once, see what happens. Another ace for Jake. Doesn't improve Tom, but maybe Tom's hoping that Jake doesn't have an ace. And nope, Jake's going to bet, and Tom's going to go away.
Okay, so back to that hand. King 9 versus aces there. King, Jack 9, 4, Jack. It's Harlan. It's hard for him to have a Jack in a 3-bet cold call check. I mean, he might have some ace Jack sometimes, but is he really continuing there? Is he playing ace Jack like that? Is he calling
or Jack? But you could Harlan though. He might be playing. You're right. Are you talking about because pre-flop?
Because the pre-flop action and the flop. Then Harlan, I mean, would he lead ace Jack and he gets called? And would he check call 700 with ace Jack there? And if
he might do that. But what about like a Jack Queen? What about a pair and a straight draw? Jack Queen, Jack 10.
I don't think.
You don't think he's even in there pre-flop? What was the 3-bet 2 pre-flop? Like 3? No, it wasn't that much.
It was open 75, 3-bet to 250.
250.
So if I'm Daryl there, I might think about maybe getting my opponent off of. Maybe try to think about if my opponent doesn't have any jacks in his range. He shouldn't have pocket kings, even though he had pocket aces. He shouldn't, in theory. He would expect him to be 4-betting aces and kings. It's harder for him to have pocket jacks. Now all the jacks are accounted for. Or 2 jacks, there's only 1 combo left of jacks. So your opponent, you want to think his range is somewhat capped at like ace king, should be very capped at a 1-pair type hand. I mean, he could have some pocket 9s from time and again. But I might think about bombing that river just because you can't get your opponent by that point when the jack goes off. You should be beat. And you can just but you can't get your opponent to fold a better hand. If you check back after your opponent check calls a turn, you should be beat every time. I mean, you beat Queen 10, and like that's it. I don't know. Ugly Black Prince, welcome. Long time no see. Tom makes it 350 to go with Ace King here. Jake calls 275 more with ace 4 of diamonds. Tom has not been playing too many hands. This call out of Jake surprises me a little bit. Ace, Jack 7, 2 spades, both players hit their ace. To me, it's a little bit of an ambitious call from Jake, considering that Tom has not played a lot of hands. Tom is, calling this from Harlan, Jeremy, Daryl, players who've been mixing up the action.
Yeah, just super action oriented.
Tom has not been getting out of line. I think ace 4 in a 3-bet pot is a little bit optimistic, and now we see where he's got himself in trouble. He's flop top pair, he's second best. Well, we don't want to fold yet. We flop top pair, right? But
right, we got an ace.
How often are we good here? Are we calling this pre-flop just for diamonds? We're not deep enough. Now, Jake correctly folds here, but this is the problem you get when you're calling off ace rag in 3-bet pots, is even if you hit top pair,
you always have to be wary of your kicker. And this is what I try to tell people too. People who are learning new to the game, I try to explain to them, they're like, I have an ace. So ace 7, ace 6, ace 5. And I try to explain to them, it's like, well, best case scenario, what are you looking for? If you hit an ace, you're probably outkicked. And what are you looking for? Like a couple of 5s if you have ace 5? I mean, really, there's not a whole lot you're working towards.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to try to flop top pair or 2-pair or a whole lot of diamonds. Or straight.
Yeah, it's just what. And I asked them, I'm like, well, ideally, what do you want to hit? And they like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, just think about it. Like, you can pick your board. What do you want to hit?
Yeah.
I mean, it's rough.
Dondo 111. I totally agree. I think ace 4 for me is definitely a 3-bet or full type hand, or definitely a 4-bet or full type hand. Flatting, I just don't think we can profitably flat there, especially against a tighter opponent who is 3-bet. I don't think we can profitably flat ace 4 there in any game.
So back to the action here at Stones, where we give away pocket pairs like candy. Some for our favorite resident Pearl Jam Jeremy here. Kings, he's going to make it 75 to go under the gun. 4 players going to the flop. We have 3 more callers behind. And 10-4 deuce. Finally a non-paired board. Couple of hearts here. Not really a whole lot for anybody. Daryl does connect with his 4. But Jeremy's king still way in the lead. 175 bet out from Jeremy. And Daryl's going to come along here with that 4. See what peels on the turn. Everybody else getting out of the way. 8 comes off. It does complete possible hearts. Jeremy does have a redraw to the second nut heart. And he's going to fire 250 into 635 here.
Now, if you're Daryl here, I gotta wonder, do you ever think about turning your hand into a bluff and raising? No, he does not.
Look at that, and Queen 4 does connect here. 2 pair for Daryl, but obviously with 4 hearts out there. And Marty, man, if you're still watching, this is one of the examples where the highest heart's gonna win. You got 4 hearts out there. Ace of Hearts is the best. King of Hearts is the next best. Unless you have the rare event where somebody would have like the 9 Jack of Hearts to make a straight flush.
I agree. I'd like to see Jeremy bet a little bit more here. Daryl Rivers 2 pair, but he's beat by any heart. He calls anyway, and Jeremy picks up roughly a 1K pot. All right,
Boom, 17 hundo.
Pull down the floor real quick.
Yeah.
Process some coffee.
Do it. Cyan Wilmot, what's going on? Welcome to the chat, guys. If you're just joining us, this is a solid 10-25 no-limit cash game. Looks like we have just over 30 grand in play on the table. It's been a pretty solid game. Lots of fun action. If you guys are anywhere local, we are located in, right outside Sacramento, California. We actually have our own Stones Gambling Hall app in the Google Play Store and on the App Store as well. And you can actually log in. You can see the games that we have running. You can put your name on the list and you can come on down. Or you can call our concierge line right there in the chat. You see it's a 702 number, or you can shoot us an email. Always seats open. And you get the advantage of knowing and looking and watching how these players play the game. So if you think you can beat it, come on down and beat it. So we got a raise here from Tom. He's going to open for 75 with Ace Queen. Daryl's going to make the call with 4-6 suited. 7 deuce 6 on the flop, rainbow. Misses Tom. Daryl does connect with a 6. Oh, right, straight flush. And yeah, Rockland is like solidly right at the street about 15 minutes. So we will see you soon. Yes, this card room is 24 hours all the time. Excellent food here, by the way, in that app as well. You can check out the menu. I've never had anything that didn't taste phenomenal here. So. Okay, guys, you can stop.
All in.
Everybody stop talking crap. He's back.
Easy game. Poker Pro Eric in the chat.
See, you come back, you bring in Poker Pro Eric with you.
You know, you take the good with the bad, I'll take the credit and the blame.
Yeah, whatever. Loud noises, I'm angry. So we got a raise to 75 here from Tay. Oh, I think, and everybody gets out.
Take it down, wow.
Yeah, raise it out. It's 4-6 suited, guys. Easy game.
Just find a couple shinies.
That's it, dude. Ooh, piece of candy.
Hand with planes, a hand with raisin, and crush the game.
I don't know what's going on in the World Series. Are they on rain delay? They're just hanging out. They're just hanging out. Harlan with the monster stack, 75. I don't know what Harlan originally bought in for, but it definitely was not that.
Harlan's in on borrowed money, borrowed time.
Yeah,
you can't be running this good in life and not be giving it up somewhere.
Well, you know what I love about Harlan is that at the end of the day, the chips are never like glued down. Harlan's just, he's like, you know what? He's like, dude, I'm in here to play. I came to play.
The sun's gonna burn out. We're all gonna die.
Yeah, let's do it.
Blast away. I love it. Tay makes it 100 to go. Ace Queen of clubs. Matt will not call with a suited ace. And ace 6-8. Checks through. Mind you, Matt folded ace 8. Another 8 comes off on the turn. Daryl leads 10-7. Tay makes a quick call. Jack of clubs. Pens lead the Ducks 3-1. I love that. Go Pens.
Easy call for Tay here, and he's going to take down this pot for sure. It's 325, so it's ended up being about a $1,100 pot there for Tay.
So there's the typical example of Daryl attacking Tay's check back range. Tay open at the pot, check back an ace-high flop. So Daryl's going to take full advantage and try to rep the ace and go barrel, barrel, barrel. But Tay checking back his ace with queen kicker on the flop gets him paid on 2 streets. Otherwise, it would have been check, c-bet, fold. Checking back the ace here actually proved to be more profitable for Tay. I like it. And we love it. Puck 66 is going to watch the Pens play the Sharks on Saturday. Oh yeah, rematch of the Stanley Cup. I love that.
Rematch going down.
20 throw. Have you ever been live hockey?
I have not.
Dude, that's.
I hear it's awesome.
Live hockey is amazing.
I want to get down and see a Sharks game in San Jose.
I am Brosco. Yes, we are on a 25-minute delay here. Daryl opens up the ace deuce suited out of the small blind, takes down pot.
Yeah, guys, we are watching. We're all live with you here in the chat. We are watching footage that's about 20-25 minutes old. Obviously, to prevent your buddy from texting him, "Hey, he has aces, fold." Although that would be very helpful. That, honestly, I'd probably be a way better player at that point. I'd be positive EV all day. All day, all day.
It's all those hindsight hands we like playing. We're like, God, if I just would have this or that, or.
I'm really good at the woulda, shoulda, coulda game.
Oh man. Results-oriented hand analysis gets us in so much trouble.
Never.
So much. Azan still can't get the deck to cooperate with him. He's got Matt opening in front of him. That doesn't help. He's gonna tighten up what he does.
Yeah, Jeremy's checking out. Jake over here with 7-4. Looks like he's gonna come in for 75.
So Matt got the action started here. He made the 75 to go. Jake is gonna call 7-4 off. Daryl calls 7-3 suited, and Harlan 9-7. And on 9-6-6, Harlan and Matt both connect with top pair. No one's got a 6. Matt bets out. He's got a pretty good 9. Harlan should be check calling. He does.
Ace peels off in the turn. Bit of a scare card, but no help there.
Probably gonna go check, check. Now I say that, and Matt reaches for chips. And this is between me and Matt. I'm probably checking back here, and Matt knows he's best and goes for value.
Matt says, "Bring it." Yeah, I'm really digging these new graphics, guys. You can see all of the action playing out there above the 2 players. You can see exactly how all of the street betting went.
Maybe all he does is have
Matt bets 280, and he gets Harlan to call with a 9-7.
Shiggity, shiggity, schwa. Queen on the river. 9 million pair for Matt here.
Wow, and now Matt decides to check back. He thinks that Harlan might have been slow playing a 6 on him. He figures he can't get any value from the only draw out there at the 7-8. And he elects to check back.
I want techies. What's going on? Welcome to the chat. Elos DK. What's going on? Katie, thanks for watching.
A natural 9.
Natural 9s all day. Again, this is a 10-25 no limit hold'em cash game coming to you live from Stone's Gambling Hall right outside Sacramento, California. Click that heart if you like what you see. We broadcast twice a week. We have all sorts of fun, different cash games, and even our smaller games get pretty juicy. Pretty
Off the
juicy.
chain. Yes, we will be inviting Quiwin to participate in our live games. Why wouldn't we? He is our new poker champion.
Poker champ.
That said, Harlan is our poker champion for the night. He is crushing this game.
Crushing it. And you know, like his ace hand earlier, the thing about Harlan is he's such a wild kind of like do what I want player with whatever cards don't matter type guy that when he gets aces, nobody ever gives him credit for aces. And especially the way he played him in that hand too, so. Let's go into the flop here, a couple of fun action hands. Queen 5-3, 2 hearts. Not really much for anybody. Tay's Jack still way out in front here.
Tay bets his jacks. Harlan is going to float here with ace-7 of clubs, calls 175 with nothing but backdoor straight, backdoor clubs. He bricks both his backdoor draws. 8 comes off. Harlan might also be thinking he might be able to bluff a heart. If a heart comes off, Harlan might think he can rep the flush and bomb the board.
So you talked about floating. You want to explain? Oh, look at that! And he spikes his 7, and because of the checks on the turn, Harlan might actually think that this is good. So pot's at 750 right now, and he's just going to check it. I think he's going to check it through. Yeah, he's going to check it through.
Yeah, Tate doesn't feel that Harlan's ever folding a queen there, and he's never calling with busted hearts. Of course.
Now, let me ask you this: you talked about floating. You want to go into for somebody who may not know exactly what floating is?
It's calling a bet on the flop or on any street with no pair, no draw. Generally, hoping that your opponent will give up or show weakness on a later street, whether that be the turn, the river, or something like that, and you can take the pot away with a bluff or with a big bet.
Gotcha. So
We float every street.
Exactly. So floating is essentially calling with the intention to make a bluff later when you really don't even have any sort of draw at all.
We just call until they show weakness and they give up.
I like to do that in tournaments more so than cash, because I feel that in
I
tournaments.
can reload and cash in tournament if I oopsie. I kind of like.
I know, but in tournaments I just feel that everybody just wants to defend and c-bet every single hand. So you
Yes,
know what I mean?
Flacco wins. He's not calling busted hearts. Yes, Captain Obvious.
Floating, not to be confused with a floater. Those are
Yeah.
very different things.
But that's why we keep you around, Flacco wins. Keep us all in line here.
Keep the chat fun. Keep it fun, guys.
Daryl makes it 130 to go with pocket 9s. Tom puts in a 3-bet to 335 with queens. Daryl's got about 2K back.
So it's a solid 10% chunk of his stack if he wants to make this call.
He's getting the right price to set mine here.
Set mining means making the call and crossing your fingers, eyes, and toes that you spike one of your cards in your pocket pair. Oh, is he
And
reaching
wow,
for more? Oh,
4-bet.
the 4-bet. So this is huge, guys. You got a bet, a rebet, a 3-bet, a 4-bet, and it just keeps on going. Now, that does show some strength, and if you're Tom, do you have the ability to think that Daryl's got kings or aces?
So, I mean, that's the stuff here. If you're Tommy, Tom's got to think to himself, I haven't played that many hands. God, come on, guys. I've been sitting back. I've been playing pretty snug.
4-bets aren't extremely often, because a lot of times they get bigger and bigger and bigger to where you don't even have enough cash behind you to do that. You know what I mean? To make these huge 4-bets.
So there's kind of like there's two contradicting things going on right now in Tom's head. One is all in. Now we have a 5-bet shove from Tom.
And at this point, he's
And
so
a quick
dedicated.
call. Wow,
Quick call.
Daryl snaps.
This is going to be a huge pot, guys. 5.8K pot right here. So Daryl's going to need a 9 and only. Oh, and he's open end. He could catch a 6 or a jack along with it. No help. Tom is going to bink this pot right here. Look at this. So this is about a 4.3K pot, $4,300 pot for Tom.
Wow. 5-bet shove, and Daryl wastes no time snapping off a
No
9.
hesitation. I think at that point, after he 4-betted, I think he was pretty much like ready for it. He's like, whatever. If you bink it, I'm just gonna gamble.
Twig.
You're funny. He says, I thought gambling was banned on Twitch. I see what you did there.
Small known, little known fact that poker is not considered gambling. It's considered a game of skill. It goes back to the 1988 case of Bill Baxter.
I'm an educated
versus the
risk
IRS.
taker. So look at Tom here now. Our resident chip leader was 7,100 in front of him. Harlan just beneath that was 6,800.
So I mean that's a tough spot for Tom because like Tom has not played that many hands. He's not been getting out of line, and so for him to like when he 3-bets out of the blinds there, and then gets 4-bet, I gotta. If I'm Tom, I'm really like Jesus. Like I 3-bet out of the blinds. I have not been getting out of line here. You got to be like super strong to do this. On the other side of that logic is it's Daryl, and he's a little bit, you know, he's a little bit
And that's what it all
aggro.
comes down to is that, I mean, Daryl's been involved in a lot of pots. It's not like Daryl's just sitting there waiting, playing nut. You know what I mean?
Yeah. As it is, they get the money all in pre pocket pair versus pocket pair. And Queen's hold, nothing wrong with that. Jeremy makes it 150 to go, ace king now. Harlan makes a call, jack 8 suited. And we're gonna go heads up.
Oh,
King,
look at
king,
that.
8.
How does that feel when you raise with ace king and you just spike 2 kings on the flop?
And Harlan's got to feel pretty good about his 8 here on king, king 8. And that's a great turn card for jack 8. If I'm Harlan, I'm not folding. He doesn't. Now he improves a pair of jacks. Mind you, the 8 is now counterfeited. Jeremy chip. No.
No.
Okay, he called. All right, sorry, I didn't see Jeremy make a quick call. Jeremy checked over to Harlan. Harlan actually bet his pair of jacks, and I didn't see Jeremy made the quick call and showed ace king.
Yeah, and so Puck talks a little bit about bankroll, and this is very interesting too, because you see this at all levels of poker. Depending on what somebody's bankroll is outside of the table, you know, if you're at a game or even a smaller game, let's call it like a 1-2, 1-3 game, whatever, right? You know, a $500 all-in might be a lot to you. But somebody might be playing way beneath their limit, and at $500, it's a coin flip, gamble, coin flip. I'll flip a coin with you all day for $500, you know? And so you really don't know what these players have behind, and that's why it's like, you want to play at a level you're comfortable with, because players can get really loosey-goosey on you and just, they'll coin flip with you all day.
Everyone, everything's relative. And I was watching one of the televised poker shows, and it was a cash game, and I couldn't remember if they were playing 100, 200 no limit, or 300, 600, but it was Alari Samias and Phil Ivey were playing 50K a flop, red black. You know, flop, mostly red, mostly black. And they were playing 50K a flop.
Yeah, why not?
And as if 100, 200, 300, 600 no limit wasn't enough.
The prop betting's always enjoyable. Oh, we got some World Series chatter going on. Getting intense. Guys, thank you for joining us, by the way. If you're just joining us, maybe you caught us from the front page of Twitch. Make sure to click that heart and subscribe. We are here twice a week, always having a blast. We also broadcast final tables of bigger special tournaments that we do. We just had a Halloween special on Monday as well. Always good times here, guys. Yeah, a lot of fun. We had a table filled with comic book characters. We had a mad scientist and Deadpool in the booth. It's always good times. So make sure you click that heart and subscribe. Again, we're here with you every Monday and Wednesday. You are watching currently a 10-25 no limit game. Those chips there you see, whites are hundreds, greens are 25s, and reds are 5s. Game on.
Tay makes it 100 to go. Ace-9 offsuit. Daryl tried to limp in the 9-6 of clubs. Now, when Daryl's limping here, he's just calling the blind. He's anticipating someone's going to raise. So part of the limping there is just put a little bit of pot control. Jeremy calls with a suited ace out of the small blind. And as we mentioned before, Daryl will call the 9-6 clubs, and we have three-way action.
4 Jack 10 here, 2 clubs. So we got a club draw for Daryl. Jeremy connects with his 4, and Tay currently with ace high.
And Jeremy leads out for 50. And it's a quick raise to 200 from Daryl with his flush draw. And Jeremy is going to correctly call here with his pair of 4s. He's got backdoor diamonds as well. He can catch running diamonds for a flush. Queen comes off. Now if I'm Daryl and Jeremy leads the flop on Jack 10-4 and then calls a raise, I might be inclined to slow down on this turn.
And total deuce brick on the river.
Wow. So Jeremy had check called 300 on the turn, it looks like. And Daryl now bricks out and shoves all in on the river on a stone cold bluff. He has a busted flush draw and a whole lot of heart.
Daryl.
And he gets Jeremy to fold the best hand.
And sometimes when you lose your stack at the table, the only way to start getting it back is just open jamming 9 high. Because why not? Because welcome to poker, baby. Love it.
I am Brosco. Yeah, in the cash game, you can get up whenever you want. Get up, you can like double up, rake down, take down a huge pot, and just get up and leave.
Yeah, these players are
that's
not
generally frowned upon.
Yeah, exactly.
By us.
Yeah,
we call that a hit and run, but you know, it's
Yeah.
totally allowed. You can do what you can. That's great about part of cash games.
I mean,
you can come and go as ever you please.
Yeah, if you stack somebody, you know, just hang out for a blind round and buy somebody a beer, you know, maybe before you leave. But yeah, you know, it's cool. You definitely get up whenever you want. There's no law against it.
And same thing when the whale gets up from the game, you don't need to beat him to valet. You could like, you know, play an orbit or two, you know, a little bit of poker etiquette. So it's
Whoa, etiquette.
Whoa. Open to 75 from Tom with pocket 9s.
Same color.
Daryl makes a call, king 6 of clubs, and ace 3, 2 clubs. Daryl has the king high flush draw. Tom's pocket 9s are still out in front though.
And Tom's just gonna fire right out here, 75. Oh, I'm sorry, Daryl fired out 75. Tom makes the call. 10 peels off on the turn, doesn't help either player. And 6 on the river. Daryl misses clubs, picks up a pair.
But he fires out and gets Tom to lay down the best hand.
Daryl is on fire. He is Captain Bet.
I busted some clubs and I'm gonna bet. Like, I'm gonna take down some pots. It's
Welcome
easy.
to Stones, where we flop suited and paired boards every time.
Cubs getting ready to take down their first World Series in 100 years.
Good lord.
Wow.
Back to the Future called it. They were just a year off. Close.
In Switzerland, Ambroski says that they're required to play for a set amount of time. Wow, interesting. So I would imagine that unless you get Felton, of course.
Where is this?
In Switzerland.
Oh wow. Okay. All right, so we've got Harlan here, our resident action player. He's going to pop it up to 100. I flop him. Thanks for joining us. We stream every Monday and Wednesday evening, and yeah, always good times. Always good times. So 6-7 king here, going to the board. Top pair for Harlan, our original aggressor. Pots at 4 1/4.
Daryl and Jake both catch a little piece as well. Jeremy's the only one who misses. He folds. Jake does catch middle pair. He makes a call. And Daryl, he's got a little piece as well. He calls as well.
Everybody's got a pair.
And now Harlan has a lot of pairs. Trip kings for Harlan.
Harlan's got a couple different pairs of kings. He's just otherwise known as trips. So we're going to see how that goes.
That's not the worst card for either of these players. It's now much more difficult for Harlan to have trip kings.
Cat Pubes, what's going on? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. And it looks like Daryl's going to exercise his option of checking, and Harlan is not going to check. Looks like Harlan fires out
675, 475,
475 into this board here.
No, 675.
675, yeah.
675.
Pushing the pot just to about 2K here.
Jake folds his pair of sevens, and now Daryl with just a pair of sixes.
Gonna let it go. I think Daryl knows he got away with two kind of extra risky moves here in the last couple hands, and Daryl's like,
Yeah.
You know what? Third time's not a charm here. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna let this happen.
Now, had he turned clubs and then busted,
Oh yeah, he totally did. Then he's just open shoving for sure. Bombs and bombs.
Harlan just over 7K. Tom right behind him got 7K as well.
Fantastic, guys. Make sure you click that heart and join us. We're here a couple times a week at least. We're here at the casino almost every day, that's for sure. Come on down, Jake will buy you a beer. That applies to all couple thousand of you watching.
Oh yeah.
He's got an unlimited alcohol bankroll in this general region, so
I have good credit.
you guys are good to go. THC pills, yes, we are on a bit of a delay here. We're on a 20-25 minute delay, but we are live with you in the chat.
Puck 66 has it's like that in Oregon as well. So you get play for a fixed amount of time. This is not bad. I can see the perks there, I guess.
Oregon messes me up, man. I drive to Oregon and they like won't let me pump my own gas. I'm like, you're joking, right? Wait a second.
Yeah, and then a lot of the cartons have no rink. You just like pay like
An hourly time thing. It's a time thing.
like an entry fee almost. So yeah.
So it looks like Matt H here raises it up to 75 with Ace King. Got two players going to come along with him. Queen, Jack, Deuce on the flop, couple of clubs.
Two pair for Jeremy. Harlan's open-ended.
Matt's got a gut shot.
And Matt's full of shit.
Yeah, Matt's got a gut shot needing Harlan's 10. That's poker. So looks like, wow, so Matt fires 125. Jeremy with two pair pumps it up to 400.
Harlan's open-ended.
Harlan is open-ended. I think the flush draw might be a little bit of a scare for Harlan too, knowing that it might have to not be a club. I think Harlan got out of there.
And Matt gets away. And Jeremy shows him the queen deuce.
Queen duck good.
$10 door fee covers you for the whole day up in Oregon. Puck 66 says no rig on tournaments or cash games.
Wow.
Just a door fee.
Solid.
And then the food and booze.
Yeah, that's apparently with a lower limit game will catch up with you there.
Puck 66. Let me know if you got a place to stay.
I know.
No rig, what? Let's go hammer out some games. Love that.
So taking a look, oh man, we are well over 30K now, guys, on the table. We got, I think, 35K plus here.
Shop Wizard, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the game.
This is real live money again. You are watching a Stones No Limit 10-25 game here.
I'm out of coffee.
It's a 2K minimum buy-in to Nomax.
Action folds to the button.
Why are you asking for like a logical explanation?
And Harlan and Tom D will just elect the chop.
Eloy Zilla, this is one of our bigger games. We've seen this game actually get even bigger. I think one time we were watching.
We were playing at 10 or 25.50 with a $100 straddle as well.
25.50 with a $100 straddle. If you want action, you got it.
That was a good game.
Yeah.
Matt played in that game.
We also had JC Tran, I think, in that game.
Tran was in the game.
JC Tran.
There's some heavy hitters.
Yeah, I remember hopping in here and just doing a quick count of the stacks, and I'm just like, it was like 50K on the table.
North of that, we were very much north of that.
Nice, nice. Very solid, always fun. Click that heart, get the alerts, join us every time, guys. Over to Jeremy, 5-4. 25 to come in. He's gonna make the call.
Shop Wizard, it is a 2K minimum buy-in, no max. Limp Pot, everyone just calls.
Just a quarter from everybody coming around. 4, it was a card in the window. Marty Man nailed that one. 4-6 king, couple of clubs. Looks like
Big
we got
flop for Harlan.
Yeah, we got a gut shot straight draw for Matt. We got a pair of 4s for Jeremy. Everybody's got a little piece of this.
Harlan's got top pair and a flush draw.
Harlan's going exactly nowhere in this pot.
Now here's the interesting part of this hand for Harlan. Is he's probably got the best hand, he's probably got the most equity, but it's hard to get worse. I mean, he's blocking clubs, so it's hard to get club draws to call. He also has one of the worst kings you can have. So actually, Harlan can check back here. So I mean, we don't mind getting the money in. Oh, and
man.
a lot of force for Jeremy.
Oh, wow, action, fireworks. Brace yourselves. Are you guys sitting down? You better be. Because this is happening.
Clubs! Harlan gets there because he's Harlan, and why not?
Yeah.
And there's the bet. And Jeremy's got trip 4s. How good is it to be Harlan?
Must be nice. You're like, and you gave him trip 4 so he can pay off my flush?
Jesus.
You're the best. An easy, quick $1,700 pot, $2,200 pot.
$2,200 pot.
Yeah.
I think Harlan's better than I think it showed 550. Look at Harlan bet a little bit more than that.
So look at Harlan now, 8.2K. No surprise there. I mean, guys, seriously, zero surprises. Zero surprises. Harlan sitting at $8,200. Tom D in second biggest stack there with 7,000. I think a lot of these players really didn't buy in for much more than 2 to 3 to 4K somewhere in there. So these guys are definitely a positive night for a few of these guys.
Yeah, Harlan's cut himself a nice little chunk of change. Absolutely. What's funny is that we've seen Harlan. I mean, Harlan plays, from the lowest stakes that we offer here all the way up to the top, everything on the stream too. We've seen Harlan crush the 1025. We've seen him crush the 510. The game that we saw him get really put to the test on was the Veronica and Friends 1-3.
Yeah.
He ran up against Athena, another player that plays the same way he does. Hyper aggressive, huge, totally wide range. And it kind of caught him off guard a little bit. But you put Harlan in a 1025, no limit. And it was just like, hey, I'll just run over the table.
He's super comfy. He's super comfy, guys. He's just like, guys, whatever. Here's a few hundred. Here's a few hundred. Oh, what happened? I have $8,000.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oops.
Sorry, I'm not sorry.
Okay, right here. And then once I get it right there, so we all know that I'm
Fantastic. Bit of a dealer change, guys. I just got some news that I think we are going to be ending this just a hair early tonight. I think we're going to be ending this here in a few hands. Unfortunately, we have a couple technical issues, but that's not going to stop us from having a hell of a stream coming up on Monday. Actually, we have another 5. We have a 5-5 no limit game. It's going to be with me and Val Cross in the booth. So it should be a good time there as well. Make sure you click that heart, and you'll get notification. It'll be sweet.
I didn't have the lot. I didn't go with these. I could have.
All right. Rock and roll. I believe the Cubs are up, what, at 8-6, is that what I saw?
I was like, I figured I would hear a loud roar across the room when either team won. So that's what I'm banking on.
How do you watch me play? It's easy to kick me out of the booth.
Yeah, when did we get to watch you play? Well, you know, Jake likes to make final tables.
If I quit punting late in tournaments, maybe you get to see me play more often.
Yeah, guys, if Jake would stop like bubbling tournaments, then you can actually see him here at the final table.
I cash like a bubble final table. It's not as bad as Val. Val loves the bubble final tables even more than I do, but
don't try to deflect and throw this on Val here.
Yeah. What's Val's problem? Yeah, forget about me.
All right, back to the action here. We got Jake D popping it up with 75 here with 7-8 of diamonds. And 3-bet now from Daryl for 230 with Ace Jack. It's going to get a lot of players to get out of the way here. And back on our original raiser, Jake. And he's going to go ahead and make the call.
I love it. I love it.
Coming around, pot's sitting about 500 bucks here to the flop. 7-5 queen total rainbow. Jake does connect with a 7. Whip City for Daryl. Nothing going on here. Ace high. I like Marty, man. He's just calling random cards. I do that when I'm at the game. He's just like 9 of clubs, and then you spike it and you're a god.
Check. Diamond on the turn.
God,
Jake now picks up an
turn for
open-ended straight draw to go along with his diamond draw now. Big card for Jake. He leads out for 300. Daryl lets it go.
Unfortunately, Daryl had nothing to give him any sort of action in that pot there. That was a huge turn for Jake.
Puck 66, I won't be shy. Maybe I'll see you up there.
He's never shy. Just limit him to only like 4 cups of coffee, and you'll be fine.
Oh, coffee.
Oh no, I said the C word. Coffee.
No.
Duh. There it is. I was waiting for that. I was waiting for a crack about, well, Rick and Barstow's got you covered. Phil Hellmuth, thank you for joining in. Yeah, you know, that's what I love our chat. I love interacting with you guys. Thank you for watching. It is always a blast. We get the entire gambit of viewers from other poker streamers and poker professionals down to people who are just learning. We've had people hop in and say, I have no idea about poker. I have no idea what I'm watching, but I'm entertained. So then, you know, that always makes us feel good. So good times. So it looks like Tom D here waking up with pocket jacks. And Harlan also waking up with a couple of mystery cards. I think Harlan's going to come in for a raise here. Is that 150 from Harlan? 175 from Harlan. And Tom, right behind Harlan's going to make the call with jacks. And Matt and Azan both check out. And Jeremy, look at Jeremy. Jeremy's like 7'8", 175 bucks. Yeah, I'm in. Bring it.
It's party. Did Tom just call? Did he just flat the pocket jacks?
This 1025 will run, I mean, even when we stop streaming here shortly, this 1025 normally runs pretty deep into the night.
Yeah.
There's a couple tables outside with some, you know, some other games, some other 5-10 games and stuff, and they generally feed into this game pretty quickly here. So going to the board here, 4-7-5, 2 clubs, huge flop for Jake, open-ended with a flush draw. And seemingly not that bad of a flop for Tom here with an overpair of jacks. Jeremy with 7-8, pair, and a straight draw. Game on.
5-way action. This is a very, very coordinated board. Tom's going to go ahead and bet the jacks. If I'm Jake, I am check raising this all day long. Both players are about 5K deep.
So 650 bet from Jax, and you're Jake. What are we doing here? We're gonna flat. We are.
Jake's just gonna call.
Jake's just gonna make the call here.
Here's what I don't like about it. Any card that makes Jake's hand is gonna slow down the action. If a 3, if an 8, if a club comes off, how likely are we to get paid here?
Because it's such an obvious draw card.
Yes. And on Jake, I'm more than happy to get the money in at this point. I would much rather have seen Jake check raise here and put all the pressure on Tom.
This pot's going to escalate quickly. We still have Harlan with the mystery hand. Do we know what Harlan has yet?
We do not. And Harlan...
And it's Harlan, so we know it could be any two.
Yeah, Harlan can have a hand like 5-4. He can have pocket fives here. He can have bigger clubs. Or not bigger, well, I mean, he can, but he can also have clubs.
And Harlan's going to come along as well.
Harlan does call.
6 on the turn is just...
There's a scare card.
The absolute one card that Jake really didn't want to see, actually.
Yeah, I don't want to make any pairs.
That's horrible. Okay, so now we can see that Jake is still basically looking for his flush draw at this point. This kills the straight outs there by pairing with his 6. We don't know Harlan's hand, but Harlan could definitely be in that range. In fact, we saw another player who already folded 7-8, so they would have banked that turn pretty solidly.
Harlan, Jake's already checked. Actions on Harlan.
And guys, those white chips are hundreds, the greens are quarters, they're 25s, and the reds are $5 chips.
Harlan now leads. And it's a snap fold from Tom, and I like that. I think that's the right fold. He's got Jake behind him. You don't know where he's at. You can easily have a hand like 7-8.
So look at this, the pot's already at 2,800. Harlan fires, we're gonna find out the actual amount here in a minute. Harlan fires 1,500 into it, gets a call. Jake misses his flush draw, does connect with a king though. So if he doesn't put Harlan on a straight, I can't imagine Harlan has air here. But if he doesn't put Harlan on a hand,
if I'm Jake, I'm check folding all day long.
All day long as well. I totally agree with you. So 2 pair for Jake.
You can beat some 6-7. You mean you beat 6-7.
And Harlan jams it. I can't see. Jake called.
And you hear it. No. Oh, he did.
He did
Jake
call.
Snapped. Jake called. And there's Harlan. Pocket eights.
Pocket eights is going to make that straight. Huge
wow. Harlan called on 4-5-7 with a gut shot and drills the 6 on the turn.
Wow.
Jesus.
Huge.
Harlan jams and Jake snaps 2 pair. In Jake's defense, he's beating 6-7. He's beating.
If Harlan doesn't have the straight, he beats him, basically.
Yeah, I mean, he's beating 2 pair hands, but I don't know how many 2 pair hands is Harlan really betting there. Harlan might bet. He might bet busted clubs, but you're blocking clubs. You're holding. You're blocking.
You are.
You don't want to be blocking your opponent's bluffs.
It's brutal, and this is one of those things where Harlan's image plays to his advantage, right? Because Harlan is the guy who could have any 2 cards, so it's very easy to be like, oh, it's Harlan, he's probably just firing out with 2 pair and getting hyper aggressive. You know what I mean?
Look at all those goddamn chips.
Huge pot, guys.
Harlan.
That is stacks on racks on stacks on racks.
Jesus.
So, guys, thank you for joining us tonight. This has been an absolutely epic game.
Monster.
And I'm sure there's about to be more reloading at the table. I'm sure Jake's gonna. Can I get a loan? Can I go hop in this game?
Barrel. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
What a smash up. And like you mentioned, like, that's Harlan's image getting them paid off. Harlan's one of the only players at the table who's capable of still having on that board, still having bluffs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nobody else is bluffing for that amount, but Harlan's like, oh yeah, come on, bring it. You're not going to call me. And then he snaps and calls, and I mean, oh, so brutal.
What a game. Guys, if you like what you saw, click that heart button, get notified. We'll send you a little notification when we're going live Mondays and Wednesdays. What do we got coming up? Is the 5-5 coming up?
5-5 coming up on Monday. It's going to be me and Valcross, and don't let that mistake you. I mean, obviously this was a fun game.
The 5-5 plays very well here.
The 5-5 is no slouchy game, so hop in there, be part of it. It's going to be rad. Harlan Beast Mode. Crazy.
What a game. Good night, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Later, guys. Wow.